Sharifa,
Louie,
will you be my prom date?
I will always be your prom date.
Aw, my heart is
And I'll never
warm.
vote you out again.
Thank you. Yes, if you're going to be my prom date, you definitely cannot vote me out, though. That's
what
something
a prom.
that would happen to me. I say, what a prom!
What a prom.
You look beautiful tonight, by the way, as
Thank
always.
you. And you look quite dapper yourself. I already commented. I've never seen you without a hat before.
I know. It's rare I do it. I don't, the shaved head.
No, it's fantastic.
Thank you. Maybe I'll start dressing like
Jacob,
this.
You're my perpetual prom date.
So many prom dates, yet again.
So many prom dates.
So many. How did you feel about tonight? So much fun.
It was a lot of fun. I think it's a mixed bag for me. I was so excited to see a lot of these players play. The game, I think, was really affected by the fact that it was private, and I'm trying to allow that to dictate how I view it. I'm not extraordinarily happy with post-jury. Shout out to Poya. Yeah, I mean, I think there were some really fun moments. Some moments were hard to watch. I want to be transparent that for me, it was a mixed bag.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And we'll go through all of it for sure. There's a lot to talk about here on this late night. We call this after prom. This is where it gets messy.
The after prom.
From what I've heard about proms. Okay, let's start bringing people in. First, I mean, we know who we have to bring in, regardless of what happened tonight. The power couple. Everyone was there to see them. TR and Mallory. Hello.
Hey, hold on. I'll put us full screen so you can really see it, but we're outside of a Waffle House. It's post-prom.
That's what you do after prom.
We got to get some grub. If you need anything, let us know.
Yeah.
I know it looks like we're lagging. Whatever, we'll bear with it. It's prom. We're all lagging.
you look properly tired. You look like after prom tired.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Louie. You look good too.
I'm sorry. You two were adorable, but we'll go into that more. Let's bring in everyone else. We have Kevin here.
Speaking of lagging.
Hey, Kevin. Girl, I know the life.
No, honestly, I despite the fact that I was a non-entity in this game, very happy to be here and not in the chat for once because I'm not really used to that. But fun to be here. Excited to discuss this game that I was in for a little bit, allegedly.
I know. I was heartbroken for you, Kevin. But we'll get into that very, very shortly. Sarah, hello.
Hello.
Hey,
How are you guys doing?
Sarah.
My favorite video of the night by a long.
Yes, that one was so good. So good.
Invested $13 into it, so I'm happy you guys liked it.
Yeah, I actually requested that somebody do a carry video, so I was glad it actually did happen.
It was hilarious. I loved it.
And we'll also bring in Brent. Hello, Brent.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Wonderful. How was your night? You lost the bow tie.
Oh yeah, I did. It was way too tight. Also, I made the mistake of shaving and then putting on the white shirt and forgetting that I had a few nicks here and there, and now I'm definitely gonna have to have this dry cleaned. So if you give me the link, I can tweet this out. I didn't see one in your Twitter. Has it been tweeted out yet?
I don't think it has. Sorry, this is all very last minute.
Okay.
I'll put it in the private chat, and then I'll also tweet it out right now from the Podquester account.
Yeah, go ahead and tweet it out, and I'll retweet it.
Hell yeah.
We talked about this and figured it was, it'll be a late night, but I figured it's better to get all the emotion. All the emotion out of there. Everybody's got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
So
I don't play these very often, so get the viewers while you can. Here, let's go.
Absolutely. So I guess
I don't last long.
So I guess to start out, and we have more people backstage that we'll bring on, but I guess biggest question first coming into this. What were your initial thoughts? Did you think you had a chance to go far? Were you concerned from the beginning? I guess we can just go around the room as to what you were thinking going into tonight. I know there was a lot of talk about how hard it would be to actually find someone to vote for first because it was such a stacked cast. What was your plan going into tonight as the game started?
I guess I'll go first. For me, I I was very conflicted with how to feel going in, because on one hand, I'm playing with so many legends that I've seen over, and truly, you guys are legends. Like, I've seen you guys over the weeks, and I've been like, I gotta play with these people. They're gonna be so good in this game. But on the other hand, I'm like, oh my God, I'm playing with these people. They're going to be in this game. They've lasted much longer than me. I don't know if I'm going to last. So I was very indecisive with how to feel, but really going into it up until my internet shit the bed, I was very, very excited to see, everyone here, and just realizing that, yeah, I'm a part of this cast. This is just wonderful. And, I was hoping that I would go a lot farther than I did, but at the end of the day, I'm just happy that I was able to be a part of it, because I think definitely just the fact that Charlie was able to like put something like this together is really great.
And what's interesting is your internet now seems to be impeccable.
Exactly.
So
I was telling this to Sarah and Hannah. We should have started playing this game 3 hours later than we did, because now it's just perfect. Just my luck, right? Watch, tomorrow's mini, it's going to work just fine, and I'm not going to have any issues.
Sarah, what about you?
Yeah, I don't know. I miss the days where I can play a mini and not know anyone. But now it's like, I honestly felt weirdly connected to everyone on the cast besides maybe Aaron, either from like watching the minis or social media, or I may have played a couple minis in my time. And so it just gets so much harder to navigate, because I just feel like slightly attached to people. So it's harder to like throw out names and play the game,
Absolutely.
Yeah. I agree, Sarah. I agree 100%. Like, I agree, going into a mini without having my name called out in the intro videos would be like freaking amazing. Even ones I don't play in, I'm called out.
Keep talking, or somebody else talking. I want to retweet this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what else.
What about you,
Hannah? Go.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting going. Like, this is my second mini, so it was really interesting going in with so many connections, knowing a lot for the lack of minis I've actually seen.
Oh yeah,
And,
you're like in it, girl.
I knew a lot of you, and I did a lot of research about the ones that weren't in my previous mini. And then there were still some people I didn't know, so it was really interesting. Yeah,
it was definitely a good mix. Let's bring in.
It's interesting how those connections ended up playing out.
My parents.
What, TR, tell me, obviously, what were you thinking, you and Mallory, what were your plans? Because I'm most interested into, like we were discussing a little bit before the game started, what your interaction was going to be and if you had any plans. Because my thought process for you, which I didn't tell you, but I probably should have, is that someone should just always be looking for an LOS. That was my thought. Like, one of you look for an LOS and one of you do the talking. But did you two talk at all about what your strategy was?
We've thought about that. Our paranoia with that would be that it would be obvious to someone, and it would be like, why is TR just looking like this the whole time? Like, what do you do? So I was worried about that. I also think, our stream was like 10 to 20 seconds behind all night.
We were not getting any LOS.
And no amount of restarting could catch us up. So we were never going to get an LOS anyway. So sad.
So sad. Did you have any plans as to how you were going to interact with people? Who was going to do the main talking, or not really?
No, I don't think so. I feel like our main method of communication was me like squeezing TR's knee, usually to shut up. But that was pretty much it.
I think we had we had a page of notes that we wrote for like to each other in the middle of the game.
Yeah, just like.
And there were several times where she said, "You need to shut up. You need to talk less."
That was most of it, honestly.
All right, so I guess let's get into the actual gameplay then.
Oh man,
yeah, let's get into it
on my end.
Speaking on that, like you ask, like how are you going to decide what to do when you like love all the 19 other people or 20 people that you're playing with? Yeah. Like I knew that was going to be a big thing, and so I openly decided today, okay, I know the kind of person I am. I have to find someone to vote for quickly. Because I don't want to be in a room and it be totally boring and like us be looking at each other like, I love these people. And like, I honestly figured Kevin would be one of the people that everyone would go for initially, just because he was the least connected out of all of us.
Right.
And I kind of like, I don't like to play that game because that's what happened in my RHAP game where we kind of pick like the least hanging fruit. You know what I mean? Sorry, Kevin, I'm keeping it real.
No, I don't like that either. I don't like that either. I think
I love Kevin. He's just terrified of me. I feel like he's scared of me because the first mini we ever played together, I went into a room and he was calling my name out. And then he went home that round, and he's been terrified of me ever since.
Oh yeah, I'll never forget that. So I went into it thinking I was probably going to target Dakota, and I will say that it wasn't like initially like I just decided it that day. I was literally looking at the cast, going, okay, who can I target? Who I think can handle it and won't be like totally miffed at me. And I know that really sucks that you're like, because you're a stronger person, I felt like I could target you.
Like, I understand.
But I felt like I had reason to target you.
Oh, yeah. I made Final 2 twice.
And it made perfect sense in my mind.
Yeah.
And then I made Final 4 again. Like,
yeah,
exactly. So I'm trying to.
No, I understand. No, you're good. I got you.
And I felt like that I was making progress with that. And I have been told that would have gone through. That you would have been first out.
If Kevin's Wi-Fi wasn't down, I would have been first 100%.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I voted for you, Dakota. I'll say
thank you, Brent, for your hairspray poster because I freaking remember that 100% in Final 5. So
So yeah, I knew I didn't have a cat poster, so I knew that was false. But I didn't know. I couldn't remember what I had up that day because I change it all the time. Anyway. Point being that in the opening round, TR, I was in a room with TR and Keely and oh god, who was the last person TR that we were in the room with?
And no, Josh
Calhoun. Josh Calhoun. Yes,
I have a horrible memory.
Yes, I do too. It just happened. I can't even remember it. Yeah. And we were like, well, who would like to? Anybody have any idea who to go for here? And it was one of those rounds too, where it's like literally a free for all. Like one of the 20 of us could go home.
I went into it 100% being like, we're gonna do like the first, like everyone in the room nominates someone, or everyone.
Yeah, I was ready for that.
Someone. That's what I went into it 100% thinking it was gonna happen, and then it doesn't happen, and you're like, oh my god. Well, now it's a 20 to 1.
Yeah, that's Audrey. Get you on your toes. So and we love it. So I was about to say something, and I said, TR, Mallory, you have any ideas? And they named off a few people, and then right as they were done, he tacked on Dakota at the end, and that was the one I wanted to hear. And I'm like, oh, Dakota, yeah, I'm in for that one. Yes, exactly. So what I told you was true in that TR was the one who said your name, but it was also true that I was the one who was, megaphoning it out to the Jesus in the crowd. So I was trying to make that happen, and then it did not happen. Because of Kevin. Kevin, I will say this, Kevin, if you would have just stayed in your own goddamn room or in the lobby somewhere, we would have been totally fine. You kept trying to go into rooms and people kept seeing that your internet was fucking terrible.
No, honestly, it was getting even worse because it wasn't even that. I would go into rooms and there would be a completely black screen.
Which, let me say,
what is going on here?
I was totally fine with voting Kevin out if his internet's terrible, but I had just spent 7 minutes worth of credibility trying to get Dakota out, and he knew it by then. I could not then change the tracks and decide, okay, well, now let's go this way. And then the hilarious part, Louie, is that when the votes came in and it was Kevin that went home, because I thought Dakota was going to go home. Kevin goes home. Fine. I'm like, well, this is good because I wasn't after Kevin. Kevin knows I was after Dakota.
Yeah.
He won't nominate me.
And you still did.
And you nominated
okay, let me. Some people came after me on Twitter, so let me defend myself real quick.
No, it was iconic.
I literally just went after people that I knew would be big targets, and I wanted to create drama. That's literally all it was. It was random. I've never nominated people before after I've left, so I just did it to create messy drama because I knew that's what
that was
the audience
amazing
wanted.
Because you picked the messiest people to nominate, and it created for an amazing round. Like, if you had picked 6 people that were more under the radar and less over the top players, I think it would have been boring. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. That was exactly my thought. Yeah.
Well, I mean, no offense. I feel like the one player who was not was Nico. You did pick him. You picked Braden, Brent, Sarah Y, Brandon, Nico, and Dakota.
Some of it was just random because their names.
So why me, bitch?
Because you were playing hard, and I knew if we, I
wasn't targeting you. So why put me up?
Because
God
I thought
damn
you were really playing the game.
I
And I was
really
like,
Yeah,
was
so
so
let's
excited because-
Kevin, that's what we always do, right? We want to nominate the people that are playing really hard and keep the people that are playing really safe, right?
No, that's not what I'm
fucking do.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what you just did.
I'm saying go at. I
And
want
Brent,
to the real.
I'm
keeping it real.
Boring people.
Oh my, yeah, right? Oh, right.
But,
I'm just like, I
was
want to
just-
pull my hair out sometime with you people because you're like,
Kevin, I think
I
was
want to
your
keep in
sixth-
the exciting people, and then you have a chance to do something. You're like, I want to be messy and put up the 6 most interesting targets whatsoever.
Because it would make you guys fucking lose it, and it'd be great to watch. As an audience member, that's
And look what we were left
Is
with
that
at
what you're
the
saying?
end, Kevin. Thank you so much.
I don't think Kevin's nominations set the game on the course that it did.
No.
I think that was just right. I don't think that's the reason it went as it
Oh,
did.
I agree. I take that point.
I mean,
I'm just giving him hell.
I think Kevin nominated 5 people at first and then attacked me on at the end.
That was hilarious. Oh
And
my
I
God.
was
Can
so
I just tell
excited.
you?
I was like, oh my God, I'm safe. And then I looked at the thing and I had an F and I was like, what's happening?
Right.
I thought of the Kim Mattina moment when you got the penalty vote. I'm like, did he break the rules again?
I thought I broke the rules again without even knowing.
Brent's face
I
just
could
lit
not.
up.
I was like, where did that come from?
My mom was sitting in the room and I was like, Mom, I'm not second boot either. I was like, Mom, I'm not second boot either. And then I looked at the F and I was like, Mom, I might be second boot.
My mom was.
It was good shit. Go ahead, Janine. Sorry, what'd you say?
I was first boot.
What'd you say?
No, because Dakota said his mom was there.
Was
and
your
I was
mom
like,
watching when you had Heroes versus Villains?
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, that's so
She
sweet.
literally
My
dried
mom
my
was
tears.
Yeah.
in the room doing office work, like, because it's like our living room, like our spare room / her office. And I was like, Mom, you need to leave. And I was like, Mom, it's 8 o'clock.
Oh.
Leave. And she was like, I'm not leaving. I need to finish my work. And I was like, Mom, well, don't. And she was like, you're being awfully mean to these people.
Oh,
As
was
a
not- it was
mom,
not-
I'm on her side. Sorry, Dakota.
Wait, Kevin, who did you give it to?
Josh Consalvo, because
Okay.
he said he was one of the people that said he wanted to work with me, and I thought he'd be a good person to give it to.
yeah,
Did he save it until Final 6 when he said he had one?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't use it at all.
Ooh.
So
Yeah,
he
that's
didn't
Kim.
win that in the buyback?
I would find that hard to believe because
I think he was one of the ineffective ones because nobody played it, I think, that round.
when
In Final 6, did Audrey announce that somebody played it?
three LOSs were played at the final 6,
And I didn't go home? Thank God.
I mean,
No,
I
you
didn't
got-
really
you
work with
tied.
anyone in this game, Chelsea. So like, I would have, but
Oh,
like,
that was
it's
when
also,
Janine and I tied. It must have been like me and Janine got 0 votes.
No, you got 1 vote apiece. I think that's what happened. Yeah, or
I
2.
didn't hear
yeah.
that because after the 3rd round, my YouTube stream was like 20 seconds behind the entire rest of the game.
That's a new record if he had 4. Congratulations.
God.
You've just,
Oh my
you've
God.
just set a new record for LOSs.
Yeah.
So let's talk before Kevin. Let's try to wrap up a little bit about your story here. I felt that's the worst nightmare, in my opinion. Like the worst possible nightmare is you gear up for something for a weeks in this case, and you're so excited, and then you finally get there, and all of a sudden your internet doesn't work. Like that would destroy me for months. Did you know your time was up basically as you were seeing black screens?
I'll just be honest. Like when it came down to like the 6 people I put up and a lot of the other stuff, I was not focused on the game at that point. I knew that I was out. I was just going as fast as I can, just being frantically, just making nominations. And honestly, like I wouldn't normally go after like big names, but really I just thought, okay, who are the 6 people that I can really go after here very quickly? And that's what ended up happening. So I'm sorry, Brent. I would not have put you up if I was
It's
more
not look.
focused.
I'm not really. First of all, I'm just giving you hell. I'm
No,
good.
I know.
The
I know.
only
Honestly,
reason
I like seeing this. I've always wanted to be dragged by Brent. So this is
the only reason I start to lose my mind a little bit is because people say this is what they want, and then when we give them the power, then they do the exact same thing that they're complaining about.
No,
and
you're right. And the chat's coming for me too. You guys are absolutely right. I definitely shot myself in the foot tonight, but it's mainly because after a while, once I realized my internet was just garbage, I'm like, I'm not focused on the game anymore. I'm more just
That's fair. Yeah.
It's my shitty internet.
I want to interject here, and I am always down to be the person with the opposing opinion. I loved that you nominated who you nominated. I loved all those people.
Oh, me too.
I did not like
one of them, and it was
the round was on fire because of that.
I agree.
Thank you, Dakota. And we've seen so many games. I agree.
If I was in your boat, Kevin, I would have done the same thing. I would have nominated the big players who would fight to stay.
And that's exactly what it was. It wasn't because I want to see like a huge player leave like that early. I just want to see them duke it out because I feel like it'd be fun to watch.
I mean, all I can think about in comparison is the winners at war. Love Beth, and it helped me. But, it was all the people who were like the next 5 boots who were listed up, and it made our jobs easy. So it was exciting that kept you on your toes. I stand behind who you nominated. I thought it was fantastic television. Come for me for that opinion, please do.
Thank you, Sharifa. I appreciate it. Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you.
I found out, so.
Thank you, Sharifa. You're totally wrong, but thank you. Yes.
You said
we could be wrong together.
You set the pace for, I would say, the rest of the game, Kevin.
Yeah. As soon as that happened, I was like, this mini's at 100 already. And I was like not expecting it to like heat up that fast. I thought everyone would be like, let's have prom, let's dance, let's be friends. And then it was like, nope, just kidding.
Yep. And that's exactly what I was going for. That's exactly what I was going for.
If your internet would have held up, I think you would have been fine, Kevin.
Okay.
Yeah. I think so too. I think I would have been gone first. 100%.
And now Kevin, you have to play again. You got no choice.
I do.
We have to see you go far at some point.
Yeah, so if you guys want to see me, unfairly judge people on Twitter because I'm clearly not that good at this game, you can follow me at that Twitter right there.
And I just dropped your YouTube link into the chat.
Yes. Please follow that as well. I haven't uploaded in a while because I've mainly just been focused on this, but normally I'm pretty consistent with that. So follow me. So subscribe to me over there. I've talked about Big Brother and various things like that for years. So yeah. All right. Awesome. Lots of fun, guys.
Thank you, Kevin.
I will now be in the chat and do my mod duties. All right.
Thank you for all that you do for PodQuester.
Of course. Love you guys.
Now, what I do want to say after that statement and what I think you were speaking to, Brent, is what happened after that was the trend of those bigger targets and those bigger names being subsequently eliminated, which was not fun to watch. So I do see what you were saying there.
Yeah. No fun. Too many lions gone. Too many hyenas left at the end.
Y'all were going after each other, though. Like, y'all know better.
Real team. The one lion I went after was Dakota. Everybody else I voted for, I showed my voting chart on Twitter. They were hyenas all the way.
My thing was like, Brent always pledges. Brent is always boring people out first. We want the big players. And then I was like, why is he targeting me? I was like, I'm a big
It's a weird circumstance where we know everybody and I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. I'm looking for the person that somebody can agree on that we can all vote for that wouldn't take it personally.
And that's what
that's a compliment to you. And I know that sucks.
And after you go after someone for like 2 rounds, like you got to that's what happened was we were kind of like, okay, well, we're not going after each other anymore.
Yeah, I was totally over it. Yeah, but we can get there. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
First, we're going to take a little bit of a detour because I know Rob King Brandon is here, and I know you have to go in a little bit. So we want to definitely talk to you. You were
totally robbed.
I mean, you were me and Sharifa and I's favorite player of the mini, I would say.
You converted me, Brandon. You told me you were
That's why I fucking do this. I just wanted you on my side. That's what I want.
I was telling about me. I was saying, watch out for Brandon. Watch out for Brandon. And then
it was about
they were standing you hard. Sharifa was like King Brandon, not the entire time, but as you moved along. Yeah.
I labeled you my pick to win. I think it was around round 3. Really? I saw how you were maneuvering, and I have a lot of feelings about that end game. Y'all all saw my Twitter post, but Brandon, you killed the hell out of it. Congratulations on your game. I'm officially a Brandon stan. I am in your group.
You crashed me? I gotta go look.
Thank you so much. Yeah, now I'm curious what the end game tweets. But thank you very much. This is
don't look at them. Don't look at them.
I'll put that away.
Well, I mean, in fairness, the good part is we wanted you to win. I'll speak for myself. I wanted you to win. I thought you should have won. I thought you had the best final 2. There you go.
Okay. That means a lot. Thank you very much. I love
you're welcome. Yeah, you clearly should have won. When it was 5-2 the other way, I was like,
Yeah.
Okay, but
I also told you should have split up Dakota and TSL, and you didn't listen to me. So
we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
I did not think
We'll get to that.
I thought genuinely, wholeheartedly, I could have won against anybody. I really thought that I could have pulled it together. TSL, I thought I could have won against Dakota just because
I thought I should have gone to final 2 because I would have lost to anyone.
I don't think so. I thought you would have won.
All three of them.
I think Dakota played incredibly up until like around the safety chain ish. Which
when you backstabbed me, yes, we'll get to that.
No, right. Well, that's what I'm saying. You still were playing well, but you were. You know,
I was wasted.
The calls were out. Yeah, the calls were out.
I hate it. I hate it. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
So
I do want to say this because I know you are leaving, Brandon, and this is sort of what I said on Twitter. Is I felt like your gameplay lost to a story, and that's what we
it did.
About that
I agree.
Because you should have been in a position that you could have beaten anybody.
It reminded me of Heroes versus Villains, actually, if I'm being better, where I felt like Albie performed better in the final 2, probably had the stronger game, probably had the bigger moves. Muna, like, it was more of like the event of her winning, the story of her winning.
Right.
But in my opinion, that was her weaker game. Like, I liked her previous game more, where she lost at the final 6 than her win in Heroes versus Villains. So I felt like that's what happened here at the end, where you should have won the game, but you were up against a narrative that was just too big to overcome.
TSL, man. TSL's been in this fucking thing for years, apparently. Yeah. I mean, she did the original ones years ago, which I think I knew. I don't remember knowing that, but
I did not know that. I truly did not know that.
Regardless, you know, it turned out, and like, the final 5, Janine, or final 6, Janine, I did think that, like, I had it against Dakota. I thought I had it against Chelsea. I thought I had it against Gonsalvo. I really thought that.
Oh, Janine, I think you would have won 100%.
You win 100 times out of 100.
Why though? Why?
I think you're just like TSL. You are like a
say and so much. Like, did you see me flop against AJ?
Oh, have you seen me in the 2 times in the final 2, Janine? Please.
Right.
The one time I made final 2 and none of my answers were good. Like, if anything, people should bring me to final 2 just to beat me because I'm like, I don't know. I'm sweating. I can't think. Whatever.
We talked about that a little. I was a drunk mess who was mean to everyone, but it made for good TV. No, me.
Oh, I was like, I wasn't mean. I'm not mean.
I was mean. No, I was
just for a little bit. Like, give yourself a break, okay? Like, you're talking to the king of mean here, okay?
Oh,
and I thought you were well within, like, what I would call, like, outside the lines. Like, there's the line, and you were a little over it, but then you came back in.
And I came back.
Yeah.
It's because I felt bad. It was just the moment, you know. It happens, I think.
It happens.
It happens. For real.
It happens. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, exactly. So, you came at me hard when I came at you in the first and second round.
Oh, yeah. I came at you hard. Okay.
Yeah. I was going to say, I guess before, Brandon, we let you go, I guess rather than going into any specific rounds, unless there's something specific you want to say, I guess I kind of want to get a gauge of, I guess, your relations. I didn't know how close you were to people in the community, and it seemed like it was very clear that at the Final 4, like, you all were very close and had an understanding of some sort.
That wasn't fun.
How you all wanted this so badly and all of that. Like, I didn't know you knew Dakota. Obviously, I knew you played with TSL, but it seemed like you were all kind of close. Explain that, and Dakota, you as well. Explain to me, like, the relationship there and how you got to this place.
So Brandon and I met, 3 years ago?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
At an open call for Big Brother, actually, in New York City. And then we became friends, and he was like, hey, I think I'm going to apply for Sequester. And I was like, you should do this. And then we never got to play. And then we both were in this mini, and we were like, okay, let's play.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
there was, to that as well, there was a couple weeks ago for, I guess, the Survivor mini, there were 6 of us or whatever that were playing in this, happened to be playing in this, that were also in a draft as well. And there was no communication. It was just, we couldn't fucking believe that nobody called that out on the draft podcast. I mean, there's literally a block of us who are all playing this game, and nobody clocked it. Immediately, Brent, I mean, you were in the room. People clocked Hannah and Geneva and Nico.
I clocked you guys immediately.
Did you? I didn't know
Nobody said anything.
Not that I heard.
Brandon had that birthday video last week. I was in it. Keely was in it.
I didn't know that Dakota had such strong ties to TSL and you.
Right.
And then
I didn't know that either. Yeah,
I didn't know you guys kind of had a network going in. I knew I was expecting Hero versus Villains, dynamics. I was expecting obviously the spooky mini, which I was in, and some other stuff, but I did not expect you and TSL's relationship to go so under the radar. Because I feel like, I don't know if it just wasn't brought up, I guess, after I don't know. I felt like you guys really did really good there as far as evading the radar, because if you look at the trio, we did not escape, right?
And immediately.
And you guys have as tight a relationship, I'd say.
Right.
Tighter, I think it might be tighter. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Taylor and I went to the Final Four last time during the
that 5-8 mini, her, Geneva. Nobody said anything about that either.
Right.
We were all playing together in that mini too.
And I wanted to work. I wanted to work with Geneva as well. It just didn't happen. We weren't ever in the same. We weren't aligned the first couple rounds, or I guess she went out 6 or 7. Wherever, we just didn't get to link up. But yeah,
but I think the thing was Hannah's intro video. I think you mentioned about your showmance,
right?
In the intro video,
there was that,
and I think that's what hurt you.
Oh, you think?
I think so.
Oh, good point. Nico was very mad after that, but my thinking in making that was I'm not going to hide I'm going to be honest about my relationships with Geneva and Nico and say it as it is, because you guys already know. So if I try to be like, oh, I didn't have a showmance with Nico, I don't totally have a crush on Nico.
Oh yeah.
What would you guys think? You'd think.
Well, no, I would know you were lying because I played with you.
Right. You everyone would know. So my thing was, yes, I obviously want them to succeed in life. I want them to succeed in the game. I love them as people, right? But
you would vote them if you had to.
Because I made final 2s with more than them, right?
Right.
That's my game. I go in and and then I pick and choose.
Yes.
Which I don't know what I would have done if I would have realistically voted for Nico or Geneva, because that's something that I said I wouldn't do, and I didn't do. But it also got me voted out, right? So maybe I shouldn't have made that pack, because if I had voted, and I didn't want to vote you, Dakota.
Because I didn't want to vote you either.
Well,
that was such an interesting round, and we'll get to all of that, because the dichotomy of the two of y'all being targets.
Thank you, Phelan.
Is great. Brandon, I know that you have to head out soon. Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
You got hot dates? What are you doing?
I want to go to bed. I got to work. I got to wake up at 8 a.m.
Oh, okay.
This is literally, I mean, if you're watching this, and obviously we've all played, but it's the most fun thing that you can. It is so much fun. I haven't stopped thinking about the 5-8 game since we played it. It is unbelievably fun. If you had the itch to strategize, to do this whole thing, and you haven't done this, if you're on the fence about doing this, it is so much fun. I mean, I could get emotional talking about it. I had the time of my life this time. 100 times more than the last time. I really, really had fun.
Do you feel good about everything that happened?
I do. I mean, Sharifa, hearing Sharifa, from the draft, be like, I don't know who this person is, and then to come to this, and then granted, I don't, the end game is the end game, but seeing everybody on Twitter and looking through the chat briefly in between the game ending and this, I cannot articulate how good I feel. I really. Good. This is great. I mean,
good. I am so glad for that, honey. You did so good, and you played so hard. I will just to brace you for what you're going to see on social media, at least from what I'm tweeting and what other people are tweeting. And there's nothing specific about you, just so you know.
Right.
It wasn't fun to watch the end where 4 friends are sitting around going, you take it. I love you more. I love you more. I love you more.
So,
that's not what we're here for. And I know that was a consequence of the decisions that we all collectively made in the game that led to that. But it still sucked ass.
And if I can speak on that specifically, I felt like that with me personally, the Final Four of the 5-8 game. I felt like I wasn't fighting hard enough. I felt like I didn't even have any indication I was going to make it to the final 2. And this time, even though, it's all hunky dory and kumbaya and it's fun, I realized I might have a shot at it. If I can answer questions, I want to do this. So the Final Four for me, I would venture to say was less kumbaya than maybe it was. You know, I know Dakota was very like, I'm not going to win if I get to the end. You know, I don't know what's going to happen. I think, and Chelsea as well. But I think we all did have our game faces on because, you know, it's fun and we all happen to be friendly with one another. But like, I wanted to win this. I really
Did you really? Because Debbie McCune in the chat says it, and I echo this as well. It felt like the entire Final Four wanted Taylor St. Louis to win. It really did.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I didn't at all. Like, I wanted to win.
Okay.
I wanted Taylor to make it to the final two just because, you know, again, 5'8". People are going to, it's like CrossFit of the sequester community. People want to stop talking about 5'8". But like, Taylor should have.
It was an iconic mini, so it's okay to talk about it.
Taylor was arguably the best mini.
Right. Taylor is sitting at the final four and didn't get there on my own doing. I mean, because of me, she was robbed of the win that she deserved throughout that game. Granted, Dash and Sarah G completely deserving of the final two as well. But there was a large contingent reading after the fact that thought Taylor played the best game. And I felt personally responsible for taking that from her. So in the final two, is my priority to try to get Taylor to the final two? Sure. But I am going there because I think I can beat her. I mean, I think that I can, you know, speak to my own game in that situation.
Brandon, I loved your Final Four. That was the one thing, and I said this on the draft, because I did not remember you and from that entire game, but it was the Final Four that I clicked. And I loved how you played that Final Four. And I do agree, I thought Taylor should have won that game, but you outplayed her in that moment.
Right.
Here, though, you have to like take into regard her record, her legacy, her record,
and that I did not do. I mean, admittedly, I mean, like I've been thinking about the 5'8" thing for like a month now. I will think about that now. Like that is my new thing that I can take the real estate that
Taylor would have been the smartest vote at Final Four. I think out of the four of us,
they would have never done it.
100%, but it was never going to happen.
Yeah,
so.
I still feel like you won, Dakota, though, in the final two, because your story, you've made it to final two. How many times you make it again? It's the same thing. I feel like
that's the same thing. I know there's a story, but I at that point I was like, does the story outweigh how mad I've made people the entire game?
Right.
I think the answer to that is no. I mean, look at what happened with Dash. Dash's win, where like he like literally had people trying to like, you know, get him to calm down because they wanted to vote for him so bad that he was pissing them off, and even they were still like, okay, I'm gonna vote for you, but like stop doing that shit.
Well, I think in terms of meanness and whatever you do, whatever you lie about, whatever that is, like if it's I'm playing the game, the intention has to be follow through with that. Your actions, right? But not that it makes it okay, but if you did it for the purpose of winning the game and you win the game, you did it, and people will kind of respect that. But if you give up,
I voted correctly every round of jury. Like it sucked. Like I made it there, and I thought I was going to be first boot. So to make it that far, like I was over the moon just to make it that far. Yeah. At that point, I was like, if I'm not going to win, I want to see one of my friends. I want to any of these three people. I was like, I want to see someone win who I'm happy will win.
Right.
That's
we're gonna
that's the problem.
We'll get to that.
I do want to give. I'm so sorry, y'all.
No,
I do want to give space to Brandon just because we need to head out, and we are going to talk about this in game in full detail.
Yeah.
But Brandon, I know you wanted to say something. If you want to close us out.
Right. I am so over the moon. I wish I could stay for the full end game conversation. I should go to bed. I should have been to bed hours ago. I thought I was going to be out early. 19th in the draft. I mean, come on. So I am ready. I'm ready to head out. This is so great. I look forward to rewatching this in the morning and talking about it in more detail. TR, I'm so sorry. I feel like I should apologize to TR. Is he still in the background? Are they here? TR and Mallory?
Why you gotta apologize to him?
We're listening, Brandon.
I love you both. I'm so sorry. I thought they had you. I thought Nico.
Did you?
I did. I really did.
Okay.
No hard feelings.
It's good. It's just good to know your word means nothing.
Honestly, it let me get a burger and fries.
Congrats on final two.
Well, on that note, I'm gonna hit it.
All right.
There was a little graphic at the bottom. If you want to follow me on stuff, you're more than welcome to. If not, this is so much fun. This is I'm done. I'm out of these games.
Thank God, get him out of here.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll talk to you all soon.
Congrats, Brandon.
I can't listen to him anymore. God.
All right. So now to go back to, oh my God, Queen Dina. Hey, girl.
Dina.
Hey, girl.
I was literally so livid. Oh my God.
All right, we'll get there. Hush.
So many feelings on that.
Sorry.
All right, so let's get to round 2. We talked about those big old nominations.
Yes.
What were the? So it was Brent, it was Dakota, it
Sarah.
was
Braden, Sarah.
It was Braden, Brent, Sarah Y, Brandon, Nico, and Dakota. Tacked on at the end.
So the round starts. Those are the nominations. What happens?
And I'm like, second verse, same as the first.
Like,
let's
Brent,
do Dakota again.
Brent. Come on, let's get Brent.
Yeah. And I did have people coming around going that, Brent, we've heard your name. And I'm like, oh, great.
Oh, yeah.
But I also, I heard so many names. That's what happens when there's only 6 people up. I think the only name I didn't hear was Braden. I heard a little bit of Nico. There was already talk because in the first round they tried to dissuade me from my original intention because they were worried about the Nico, Hannah, Geneva perceived threesome. And I was like, okay, can we just do this Dakota thing here and then we'll take care of that in round 2 or 3 if we can't. That's what I wanted to do. So then once Nico became on the board and available, they were like, well, what about that? And I was like, I think Dakota is so mad at me. I feel like I have to finish the job with that one. And if anybody watched my original RHAP mini, this is reminiscent of what happened with me voting Jenny over and over again. And I never got her out. So I was basically repeating the same formula and with similar results. That's what happened from my perspective. And when, I will say, the votes came in for Sarah, no fucking clue what happened. I was like, okay, I got no agency on this game whatsoever.
It was that one.
No clue.
There was a group of 5 that started the round saying, we know Brent and Dakota are after each other. We had, I think, 5 people. I can't remember
that group. I was that person. I said, you know what? What if we just let them keep going at it, right? And keep them around because I didn't want Brent or Dakota gone. I wanted some more top tier, middle tiers that weren't Brent and Dakota because I didn't have beef with Brent or Dakota, or at least I thought I didn't. Right?
I was like, no, yeah, and see, I think that's a really good strategy. I think until sorry, no, I don't want to cut you off. You go.
No, go.
Well, it must have been.
I think that leaving 2 people in who are fighting after each other is a really good strategy, but eventually they give up. And I think that's what happened. Me and Brent just gave up, and we were like, okay, well, let's work together. Because that's what happened with me and Kim Matina in Night of the Living Dead. Was me. I was after Kim. I was like, Kim. And then eventually it came down to it. I was like, well, clearly I'm not going to get Kim out. Kim, let's work together. And that's what happened.
Yeah. I don't think I was planning to run with it. I think I just wanted some other people gone first, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because Brent's time would come. We all knew it. And I wanted to play with him.
We knew it.
But Brent, you were also in the best way, a wild card. And I didn't know what to expect, right? I didn't know where we were, what he thought of my previous game. And sometimes it's like, oh, is he gonna is he gonna throw shade at me in the intro video?
Right. Can I ask before you finish that point, can I ask this question of the people who are here? And try to give me it as honest an answer. I won't read you for filth. Just I would like an honest answer as possible because I saw this question in the chat. It was from JB. He wanted to know, I want to know how much pre-gaming there was in a game that was supposedly having no pre-gaming. So if anybody had anything, I please tell me because I will own up to anything that I did, which was minimal at best.
See, I think there's a difference between pre-gaming and pre-game relationships. And I think there's a lot of pre-game relationships. In terms of pre-gaming, in terms of let's vote so-and-so out, I don't think there was any of that. In my opinion, I didn't do it.
I feel like a lot of the time I felt like there was going to be a lot of people that were pre-gamed or connected. And then I felt really alone around the mid-game. But there was people that I had talked to before that I knew. And I knew that someone like Brent would probably not go after me till the end game.
I was more scared because I hadn't gotten anything. And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm not pre-gaming. Is everyone else pre-gaming and not including me? That was my worst fear. And that was my paranoia. And Sequester
I'm curious.
Paranoia.
Hannah, what were you going to say?
So I can speak for so I've talked with people after this game and I think there's suspicions that there was way more pre-gaming going on than We thought, I don't know, but what I did is I talked individually to Geneva about the upcoming game, but we didn't make any solid plans. I talked to Nico about the upcoming game, and I talked to Bray about the upcoming game, and so I had people who would protect me going in, and I sent Dakota a TikTok.
She sent me a TikTok.
And it was just something I was like, oh my God, Dakota would love this. And I was hoping that would reignite, like, oh my God, I love Hannah and I want to keep her around and I'm going to protect her.
So soft pre-gaming.
So, yeah.
I was just liking as many people's tweets as I could.
And I mentioned to people I saw would be threats. So, you know, people who I had watched in games were obviously TSL and Brandon. And I viewed, like, that was the first mini that I saw. And I knew how that mini went down. So it was like, that's not going to happen this mini. But it did. It did. And there's a reason it did, okay? Because they went unchecked and they played great games that led them to there. So, I'll let
That's cool. Janine and Dina, like any soft pre-gaming that you had, relationships, like nothing.
I mean, I just played with Charlie on Sunday.
Sorry, you go.
We were in the international mini chat, but we never pre-game. You guys saw us the first time we saw each other. We literally said, we've been wanting to talk about this, but we never got to talk about this. Okay, great. Now, did I know I wanted to play with Charlie? Yes. I did not have a single one-on-one conversation with anyone.
Okay, cool.
Except asking TR something, and that was it.
Okay.
And I think that you can do as much pre-gaming as you want. I feel like it all goes out the window round one anyway, just because of the twist. And you don't.
No, it really doesn't. It really doesn't, because I feel like some people walked into this experience with relationships. Mm-hmm. Some people didn't, and there was a very clear line at the beginning talking about no pre-gaming. There was none of that line. I didn't have any Zoom chats with anyone, doing that stuff. That's fine. We can all do it. This is a private mini. We're not going to, get into, dragging each other. But, when someone tells, I'm an honest person, and when I say that I'm going to do something outside of this game, loyalty, I'm going to fucking do it. The wheel took me out. Karma wasn't on my side. That's cool. But, I didn't want my name to be out there as someone who gets told something and then does something different, especially after all the drama that happened with the international mini.
Okay, cool. Janine, anything from? Sorry, I just want to hear from Janine. Janine, did you have any pre-gaming at all, or relationships with anybody?
I have a lot to say on the subject.
Okay.
Like Dakota said, there's game relationships. Dakota and I connected on the back door. We're both nurses, and we both played in a mini. So clearly, I felt loyalty to him based on that. And beyond that, you scared the shit out of me, Brent, by saying no pre-gaming. You drilled that into us. You're I'm not playing if I get even the whole crux of Sequester is trust us, trust no one. So I didn't know if I reached out to somebody who they were friends with and who they would tell that I messaged them. So you scared me into not messaging anyone.
Good.
So I did not. And I would like to also use this to preface. I did have a chance to have a few conversations before getting on here in between the game and everything.
Yeah.
And I haven't been on Twitter. I'm not a big Twitter person. Sorry, it's just word of mouth.
Oh yeah, totally.
That people were upset with me for not contacting Sarah prior to the game about my issues with her. And I would just like to say that besides the fact that I truly and genuinely just wanted to have a face-to-face conversation with her, I didn't want to hide behind texting. I didn't want, I just wanted to put her on the spot and see what her response was. I also was afraid of pre-gaming, and I didn't want to have this conversation with her prior and say it went well and we reached a common ground and we're okay, I'm glad we worked this out. Let's work together in the game. That wouldn't be fair. That would have taken away from everything. So anybody who was questioning me on that matter,
it's tough. It's a tough situation for you to be in. I will own up to the fact that there were two people that I contacted, but it wasn't in my view. It wasn't pre-gaming because I was just hey, you can vote me out first if you want, or you can take me to the end of the game. I really don't care. But there were specific reasons I didn't want two people to come after me, which I'm not going to name. Okay. But I was like, just don't come after me because of this. If you want to come after me for these other reasons, that's good. I'm good with that. Right. And they're like, Brent, we're cool, Brent. And also, like, Geneva, you guys were in the group chat. I lit her up after the Final Five debacle from the game like a week and a half ago, which I did not love. I still don't love it. And I was honest about my feelings in the chat. And I wanted to make sure that she was, I want to make sure I didn't hurt her feelings, to be honest. I was like, hey, like, you know, if I hurt your feelings, like, I feel like that some of the stuff that I said might have made you feel like I was blaming you for what happened. In reality, there was more blame to go around, to be honest. So I had to talk with her about that. But I said, still, you can still vote me out first. I'm good, just so you know. Yeah. So yeah.
And I mean, like I said before, I think there's a different, I mean, pre-gaming and pre-game relationships, I think, are completely different things. Like, obviously, like, seeing the end game, like, you know, me, Taylor, Brandon, I mean, Chelsea, we're all close. Like, I'm not going to stop talking to them on a friend level just because we're going to play this mini together 3 weeks from now. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, we're going to keep, like, we're friends. And we're not talking about the mini, like, sure, we go into the game with the relationships, but, like, I'm not also going to decline playing in the game just because, I see there's three other people who I'm friends with playing. I don't want to play. Like, you know what I mean? It's hard.
It's weird. It's a private game. And what he's talking about is the fact that it got so, to be honest, boring at the end because everybody's so friendly and there's no gaming happening.
I understand.
But on the other hand, it's a private mini and it's not technically public, although this one was public. So there's a lot of gray area. I get where you guys are coming from. That's totally cool. Yeah.
But it's not best friend
cool.
race. I feel like I play fucking board games with my friends all the time, and I fucking drag them to filth.
Right.
I sit there and I say like a big fuck you to fucking my best friend because I want to beat them. So I don't know. I just at the end I was like, oh come on guys, a little more.
Yeah.
But
so Janine, you were the cause of the Sarah Y vote out here because I like that wasn't even a name on my list again. Yeah.
I had no idea.
But I've been looking forward to this conversation since like 9 p.m. last night.
Right.
And, like, I would also like to say another reason why I didn't like try to have this conversation with her prior is I am nocturnal. I work overnights. I'm asleep during the day. I'm awake all night.
I feel you, girl.
I'm sorry. I just can't like be there. Like
just for everybody who doesn't understand, like this is all emanating from things that happened yesterday from the private mini that was talked about on the Brown Girl podcast and actions that
Brown
took
Girl
place.
podcast completely revolutionized my perspective on so many things, and I cannot thank Sharifa and Susie and everybody on that podcast last night because we had a group chat. Like my perspective prior to watching that to after, and I think Brent can attest to it because we kind of had similar responses in our group chat was just like, it's changed. You guys changed me, and like I need to be different. I need to act different, and I need to be better, and I need to speak up, and like that's pretty much everything. That's what fueled my target upon Sarah.
So who knew Sarah was going home besides Janine? Anybody here? Curious?
Braden did.
Braden knew? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just at that point I just didn't give a fuck because it was like a couple people said you were going at each other, and you know. There was like a third name.
I knew.
And I was
Chelsea has joined us.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Chelsea.
I'm very tired, by the way, so forgive me if I'm like sleepy. This is like the latest that I've stayed up in a very long time.
That's cool. I'm guessing Sarah isn't like behind. She isn't backstage anymore. I'm guessing like she's not there because she was originally.
She's not.
But maybe she might be. She's not. Okay, she's not. That's cool.
Really? Where'd she go?
I don't know. I guess she might be tired.
Conversation prior to this.
Yeah, honey, I don't know.
We had an interesting jury room conversation too.
Oh yeah, when you were in the pre-jury, yes,
jury room.
The pre-jury room. So sorry, I'm not shading you. I'm just like,
not enough to make the actual jury room, but that's okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Sarah Y gets blindsided here. I will admit I was the one who played the ineffective LOS during the second round. I was nervous. There's only 6 people up. I also thought that whoever fucking Kevin handed the LOS to might do something wonky with it. There's so many unknowns, and when there's only 6 people, like just a couple votes could send me home. So I played the LOS during the second round because I was nervous. It was ineffective. Sarah Y goes home, and we are on to the third round.
Was that I voted for Nico.
Yeah, I thought there were probably votes all over the place. Yeah, I was nervous. Joseph's right. I was nervous there. I was like, I almost didn't play my LOS, but I'm like, if I go home second.
Oh no, I actually I voted for Brandon.
Yeah, I'm sure there were votes on all 6 people, with maybe except for Braden, because I heard every name but Braden that round.
Someone said my name came out that round for like a second, but yeah.
Someone might have voted for you, but again, the votes were all over the place. I'm sure like 5 votes carried the day for Sarah, because it couldn't have been very much, because there were so many people who were absolutely blindsided by it. So, and then another reason I played my LOS was because I knew that I was specifically vulnerable in this round. I figured like 3rd round, 4th round is probably going to be some sort of safety roulette, safety chain, something where I'll have the opportunity to be safe. And, I'll be able to skate through a couple times, which I was. So that's why I played it.
I have to run away, guys, too. So I'm just going to sort of say that I had tons of fun tonight.
You were robbed, Braden.
Yeah, drags are drags. No one get mad at me.
Correct it.
And, I feel like my arc every game is there's like a showdown that I have with someone. And this time it was Chelsea for a bit. There's always some girl that won't take my shit.
I'm happy that I could be the one. I'm sorry, but
and now it's you.
I honestly, I didn't I wanted to work with you until I heard that you were saying my name.
Yeah, and I probably did because I said like 12 names. So
he was saying a lot of names. Yeah,
I said a lot of names. But
by the way, yes, Henry, I see you in the chat. Welcome to Brent Podquester. When there's not a host here, I'm just trying to move the conversation along a little bit, honey. You're more than welcome to jump in when you want to. Come on down.
I will say
bye.
I was in a position that was like one of the strangest positions where there's a literal tie of 3, and I had to make a voting decision, knowing that with so minimal votes.
Yeah, I know. That's nowhere to hide. Yeah, because it's like what happened to Hunter in season 3 of Sequester, the double boot round, where he's worried about throwing his vote on someone because he doesn't want to get dragged into a battle match, and then he throws his vote onto someone, created a majority, and then gets dragged into a battle match. That's what happened to you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh gosh, Keely just said she voted me like 4 times. Yeah, I knew you were never on my side. But yeah, like I knew Janine would bitterly drag me because I was working with her. There'd be no point to vote her at all. Like I wasn't gonna vote you out. Like there was no reason, and you would drag me. And then like Dakota, I was like, he seems a little drunk, and he seems like he was bitter on Brent. So whatever. So I had to choose Nico and hope he didn't get voted out, and it didn't work. I'll also say I tried to do the Ryan thing. I don't know if that bugged people, but I was in the room with him, so I fucking tried it. He said he almost changed his mind, but maybe Nico will let us know if that was true.
I would like to know that. And that's like, I'm being real right now. Okay. You guys tell me your opinions. I don't like that. It's one thing if you want to say, I'm considered doing this, I'm considering dragging you. But when you say I drag this person, point blank, period, that is it. There has to be some finality to the rules. I don't like this. Like, was that the call, or were you still waiting for the call?
He was like, well, so and so Keely, I'm really mad at Keely, and Braden something else, and I was
that was all good. I liked that.
And I was like, fuck it, I'm unmuting because I don't want to be the one.
Yeah, that was all great.
Well, I think you made because if the drag at 4 can be debated, then why can't every drag be debated?
I didn't blame you at all for jumping in. Yeah. Like I'm like the chicks are open at this point. You can do whatever you want. Yeah. So I'm sorry it didn't work.
I feel like as long as the rules are clear and it's known that after you make a decision, you have a decision to make, then that's fine because then you can kind of like prepare for that. But we're a growing community. We're a growing game, and to make it interesting, we have to make mistakes. So I think that it's fun to make mistakes as it is for it to go perfectly well.
If you're in the room with someone that's getting voted out, you're at some sort of disadvantage anyways. So why not throw something at it? I don't know.
Yeah. I like the idea.
I'm so sorry.
You gotta go? Okay, cool.
Yes.
Okay,
right.
Thanks,
you put a
Braden.
social up, right? Thanks, Braden. Yeah, I like the idea of saying like once you say the word final, like that's it. You know what I mean? Like that, there has to be some verbal tick keyword something there where like everyone knows, okay, that's done. Otherwise, I feel like you could just sit there till the cows come home.
Yeah, maybe like another 30 seconds after, and then
I'm cool with that.
And that's that. Okay, so that brings us to round 3. Round 3 was a very quick round. Safety roulette.
Couldn't believe it. I knew it was
Oh my
happening.
God. It's the first time I've ever seen it happening.
I don't know if anybody screen capped that, but it was one of the best screen grabs I've ever seen, with everybody's shocked face.
I knew it was somebody. I just didn't know who it was because I was in the room with Janine, and I knew I had been to the other 3 rooms. Rooms 1, 2, and 3 all had 5 people. I tried to get in every one, couldn't get in. Went to room 4. After time was called, me and Janine got stuck there. But I'm doing the math, and I know there's 18 people in the game, 18 players in the game, I should say. And I'm like, okay, that means someone's by themselves in room 5. And then when the wheel starts going around, and room 5 is still there. I'm like, holy shit. They could literally go out of the game with the wheel, and it fucking happened. I just didn't know who it was.
The curse of room 5 has returned.
Yeah.
Every time there's safety roulette, I never.
That's my motto, and I'm.
Dina, were you in there with me? Because we were in the room 5. I was in room 5. I know that. Okay.
No. You were with me when I lost the the Wheel of Misfortune.
Okay.
I was with Dakota. I think Braden and Taylor.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I want to say
there was one more. There were 5 of us.
Yeah, there were 5 of you in
always
each room.
There was definitely 5 of
However,
us.
the most people I can get for safety roulette.
Yeah, of course.
That's like my strategy.
Dash, I just stayed in the room with you. Or sorry, not Dash, Dakota. It's really late. Dakota, I know. Dakota, I just stayed in the room with you because I was like, his name's out there. Like, worst case scenario.
Sense.
You know,
thought...
that's the same thing I did in 522 with Mary, because Mary's name was out there and she had been voted out, and then the audience brought her in. And so she was in my room, and I was like,
okay.
Girl, we already voted you out. Perfect.
Janine, were you in room 5 originally with me, and then we decided to move around? Because I know I was in there with 3 other people, and then they looked at it, and we saw we were in room 5, and we were like, "Fuck that shit, we're leaving."
No, I was honestly, I don't know if Hannah's still here, but I was looking for her because I felt like I wanted to get in a room with people who, like, if it came down to it, they're like, maybe I could push over me. And in my original room, I was like, no, I'm not beating you guys. So let me find Hannah. And then her room was full. So then I jumped to 4, and there we were. And we were safe. Thank goodness.
I almost left my room. I was about to leave room. What were we? Room 3.
We were in 3.
Mallory and Tara are like, "What are you doing? No, there's 5 people in here." And I'm like, "I think I want to go if we get." And they're like, "No, it's fine, honey. You're not the biggest threat."
That might have been a lie.
But I was like, just
That's why everybody wanted to stay in the room with you, Hannah.
So I'm really thankful for mom and dad. For being you sure you want to leave?
Were you, TR, were you guys being truthful with that though? Because like I felt like if the room did land on you guys and Hannah was up for nomination, that she could have gone home there.
I just wanted
she
to
went
go
home the next round
possible, and I wanted to avoid just anyone.
I was honestly actually more so looking out for her because I was like, I mean, like
numbers wise,
numbers wise, like you have the same amount of odds, like
yeah. For me,
if you went home, you went home. Yeah, I'm just
no hard feelings. The next round, didn't I? So.
Yeah, that round was scary for me. So I was just in a room with Josh, and Josh was like, "Do we stay there? Do we go?" I was like, "I think we should go because I don't want to just be in a room with just you, and then it's between us." And I jumped to room 1, and he jumped to room 5, and then he was alone, and I was safe first, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." So that was a dramatic situation because I
hated that too because Janine and I were called safe like second, and I knew that I had been very active during the first couple of rounds, and I was like, okay, I'm safe. I want to take a round off. Like I'm not gonna have to worry. I'll be able to go out and schmooze with the people, talk, say hi. There were a bunch of people I hadn't even met yet. I didn't see Chelsea until like the 5th round. I didn't see Braden until the 4th round or Hannah like at all. Like there were people I wanted to talk to.
Wait, I thought I saw you pretty early.
I think I saw you in the second round.
I lost track. The point being, like, I wanted to go out and not be like beating the drum of Dakota in your face when I knew you didn't want to vote for him, which was plainly evident. And then all of that was taken away from me when Josh was in a room by himself. God damn it.
Yeah, I was like, no, none of us are really safe because we just have to start over a new round. So, but
yeah,
I was
so sad that I didn't
terrible.
get like a round of actual safety. I just wanted to not stress out
right?
for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
So after that, I think everybody was pretty bummed that Josh Calhoun went by the wheel. It's such a tough way to go out. Thankfully, everybody, with the battle back, we're all hoping for that, and that worked out. But that's later on. So that brought us to round 4, which was the red-green button. Green, safe again. I mean, it's kind of been thrown for a loop now as to whether you pick red or green. But this is the round that ended in Hannah going out. So talk to us a little bit about this round. What was everybody's plans? It was Braden, Charlie, Keely, and Josh who were safe and could block votes, and everybody else was up for elimination.
So Nico came up a lot. Who else was coming up? And then I went into a room with Aaron, and we said, who do we want? And I was like, well, let's not touch Dakota and Brent. And I'm like, and finally I'm like, and I don't want to say the name because I'm already getting comments because that like I'm talking about her too much, but she won the mini. So I throw out TSL or Brandon. I'm like, why don't we get one of them out because they're a pair? Aaron is on with it, and then she walks in, right? Which I didn't, which was crazy because it was a couple seconds, minute. It felt like a little later than usual, but she walked in and she's like, I just heard you guys, like, and I have to backpedal, and it's like, and I faced this in the spoof mini, so I'm like, okay, this is messy. What can we do? I know, and we were like, give us another name. That obviously didn't work, right? And so then I ended up room hopping, and I ended up in room 5 alone. I went to room 5, I think, and then I was like, okay, time to do my confessional and rank up my draft points for Brittany. And then Geneva comes in and is like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right. Hey, I don't mean to stop you.
What are you doing?
Like, whoever is typing, if you can mute yourself, I don't know who that is, but that's all I'm hearing is typing. So sorry. Sorry.
Yeah.
All good.
I own that. I own my mistakes. I say,
own
okay,
your
that's
shit,
me.
girl.
I'm wrong.
Yeah, but Hannah, you obviously were nervous. You knew that you were a possibility here, but from my perspective, it was like I was in a room and I can't even remember who I was talking to, and I was asking, I think maybe it was Chelsea. And did I ask you, like, because I was tired of beating my own drum and not getting my way. So I said, I'm gonna take a new tack. I'm gonna ask people what they want, and I'm gonna do what they want. and it actually worked. I'm like, so what are we feeling here? Like, what do you want to do? And it came back to the whole Nika, Geneva, Hannah thing, and then I was open to Nico or Hannah. No offense, dear, but I was. But I said I was open, and I think it was turning toward Nico. And I don't know if it was you, Chelsea, who jumped in, or maybe it was Brandon, who the final 2 guy who jumped in and said that Hannah was the link between Nico and Geneva, and that's why she should go.
Yeah.
So it turned back toward you. Do you remember that?
Yeah, no, I remember that. And
Okay.
Hannah, I do have to say, coming into this mini, I was very threatened by you because you and I are the only 2 girls that have played once. And like you got picked in the first round of the draft and I was the last girl picked. So I was like, fuck, Hannah has she obviously has to have her shit on lock. I don't
Yeah.
So then hearing that you guys were a tight 3, that scared the shit out of me coming in.
Yeah, I think at one point in the game, someone was like, aren't you and Geneva roommates? And one was like, no, she's a grad student. We met in
I'm like, we're 5-year age difference, so absolutely.
And then COVID happened. So, right? And then we became friends during really good friends during COVID. So there's a lot of how close are these people? And then it's like, do Nico and Hannah even have a showmance? Do they even have an alliance? Or is this just a trio that we're hyping up to get these 3 powerful players out? Yeah, and it sucks that I didn't get to talk more to you, Chelsea, because...
Yeah, it does. If I had been able to get in a room with you, for more than 2 seconds, because we hadn't really seen each other, that would have changed it. But since we didn't get to talk, we didn't...
And I think I definitely I think I became the target when I threw out TSL's name, because I mean,
I honestly never even heard TSL's name. I had no idea.
That's actually what I wanted to touch on a little bit, was the moment when TSL was mentioned, because that was one of the highlights of the round for me. So what was the thing? So a few of you were discussing TSL, TSL in the background.
Yeah.
So you were not too pleased.
I hate to put the chaperones on blast.
Oh, but you did.
You had no problem in the moment putting them on
I was so
blast.
frustrated in the moment. Okay, so we're in the room.
They were a little slack.
I don't remember.
I don't her to come in.
I don't remember who it was. Was it you, Hannah? Was it you and us? Yeah, it was you and us. And there was Aaron. Yeah, you, me, Aaron, and like maybe one other person. And we were talking about who we wanted to put up. And Aaron said, "Well, I'm scared of TSL, or she's someone to be afraid of." And all of us were kind of like, "Oh yeah, I guess we could do that because we hadn't heard anything yet."
Yeah, this Brandon and TSL were on my radar from the beginning of the game, and I was like, because they're a pair. I mean, they went to 5-8 together. I watched. That's the one mini that I know pretty well. So I was aware of that, and I was like, finally, someone throws it out without me having to throw it out. And then she walks in.
So is this the second time this happened, or is this the same time you were talking about?
This was the same time. So it was like a solid 45 seconds that from when he brought up her name to when the room limit happened. And so she came in, and I thought because it had been so long and we hadn't said her name in like 10 or 15 seconds that we'd be fine. So when she came in and Aaron left, I acted super casual, and she was like, "So you want to give us you want to take a moment to explain yourselves?" And we're like, and she was like, "I heard everything."
And I mentioned I was like, "You're a glorious competitor and you have consistency. That's something that I hear from lots of people." And she was like, "No, don't throw my name out." And I was like, "Okay, tell me another name. I'm sorry. What can I do? Like, I throw your name."
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to go against her because I think she's very likable in the community and a lot of people respect her game. So it's
and a lot of people in the game wanted to keep her in, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if it was if I had a good idea or not, or if I had good points. They wanted her in. She was going to stay in. They wanted the trio out because they know how powerful that can be.
Yeah. What was interesting was after that moment, her name really wasn't mentioned much the rest of the game. It kind of just vanished, and nobody really brought it up.
I do want to handle that question from S. Baller, who says, how was she able to hear that much? What a lot of people don't understand about the way the minis are run, it's everything's run, obviously by computer, and we're going into rooms, but it's a human element that actually puts you in the room. So you can click on room 1, room 2, room 3 and go where you want to go, but you're what's called backstage, meaning that you're...
Right now we have Dakota and Janine backstage.
Yeah, so there are people that can hear the room and they're trying to get into the room, but the moderator has to physically add them to the room. You see what I mean? So that's how, if someone's backstage, they're able to hear something. Now, technically, the moderators are supposed to put them in right away. So somebody appears, you click it, but obviously people are human, make mistakes. I've been a moderator. I've done it too, where you look away for a second, all of a sudden there's somebody there and they've heard 5 seconds of a conversation that they weren't supposed to hear, and you feel terrible. But you click them into the room as fast as possible until we find a way to get it automated. There's always going to be a human element, and those things are going to happen. So it wasn't on purpose.
And I think I just wanted to mention another aspect of that round, I guess, from my perspective too, is another name that was going out there was Janine too. And I think, because she was going after Hannah, that was kind of where I was like, well, do I let Hannah go? Do I not? And then I was also in a room with Nico and Brent was like, maybe it's best for your game to let her go. That should be something you should consider because you guys are associated with one another. And, so that was something I was trying to figure out. But then I was also like, maybe eventually I should let her go, but maybe I need her as a number for now. I don't know, so that was something difficult to tackle with. I'm like, do I go after, do I keep her? Do I not keep her?
Yeah, I even said that to you in the moment, didn't I? You may want to do this to lessen the target on you because I feel like getting rid of Hannah here rather than Nico is a better call for you from a longer game perspective. But on the other hand, it's early in the game and you might need her. So, And, but I felt like if you got rid of Nico, that the target would still be there, though. So
yeah, and I think coming in regardless, like I had a huge target on my back because I played in the 6-5 mini, and like it was kind of difficult to overcome that, to be honest. So,
girl, I was taking you to the end. I couldn't tell you.
I didn't know that.
Game with you.
I didn't know that.
I would have taken you all the way to the end.
Well, I didn't vote you out in the first round. I kept you for a while, but then a lot of people were talking about you, and I was like, yeah, it might be.
Charlie was talking about me. Charlie was.
People were like, it's dangerous to keep Brent, and I'm like, you know what?
Get there.
Good point. Yeah.
And I just want to say something. And I think it's interesting playing with, because I think it's interesting playing with people you have these connections with, because it's like, okay, should I just ditch them? Is that's what best, or do I need them? Because we see in other minis, Spooky Mini, like Nico really could have used me in the final 4, right? And I think that's something that it didn't happen like that. It couldn't happen like that for his game. But in this mini, what would have happened if we had all, like, if we had a cohesive unit like other people did, and then we actually, successfully defended each other? What would have happened? Which is, I think, what everyone was afraid of. It's like, what if these 3 just go all the way?
But it is crazy how there were longer pre-existing relationships for multiple years, and they were under the radar, but we were the ones that were.
I had absolutely no fucking idea about that, honestly.
Yeah. And I met Hannah literally at the beginning of this year, so it's like we haven't known each other.
That's
that
so
long.
terrible. Yeah, I knew Brandon and TSL were friends, but that I didn't know the extent of any other people that were really friendly with them. Certainly didn't know anything about Dakota being friendly with them. It's just like so many, like it's like a family tree trying to figure out who's connected to who.
Like I know them because we did a draft together. Like that's my entry into that.
Right, that makes sense.
Janine, did you have something to say?
Yeah, I think
I was saying that I didn't know Brandon and TSL were friends, but I knew Dakota and TSL were friends.
Yeah, so we each knew a little piece.
Yeah,
we couldn't put it together. Yeah.
I think my misstep with that whole thing was not understanding like the lore of everything behind it, because like I'm so new, I don't know everybody's backstories. Like I just see what I see on the outside. Like I don't know everybody's fucking lives.
Well, that's
like,
also too. I was wondering too. If
Hi,
in
Nico.
the game. Oh, hey Nico, how's it going? But like one thing that I was also wondering in the game too was like, would I be like wrapped in with TSL and Brandon too? Because I played in the same mini as them, the 5-8 one. But then we do have like in the game, it's like interesting history because TSL and Brandon, they had a final 2 that they had agreed upon 5-10 minutes before the safety chain, and then that's why I went home.
Those 2 are the sole reason, or pretty much the sole reason, that Geneva went in the 5-8, which is fine. It's a game.
Yeah, and I told them at the beginning of the game, no hard feelings, at all.
Yeah, just like I told you, no hard feelings. Yeah, exactly.
I think
there was a question I wanted to answer. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I just wanted to say, I think as me. Immediately when I got voted out, I got a text from Drew, and he was like, "Nico's mad." Drew Harris from my mini, just a friend, just another sequester player. And I was like, "Nico voted for me, and Brayden blocked a vote to get me out." I was mad, and I was frustrated because I was like, "Why would people keep Nico in Geneva over me?" Like, because I was convinced that if I had gone to the finals with any of them, like I would not have won. You know what I mean?
I don't know if that's true.
I think you underestimate your game, Hannah, but
I think you can certainly hold your. Yeah, you can hold your own with anybody.
Yeah, I think I just entered the game assuming that I was lower on the totem pole than I think I give myself credit for. But I also went out prematurely, so I mean, like, but.
I hear you, honey. You played hard, and like you knew your name was out there. I told you to vote for who did you vote for in this round that you go out?
Or
who did you think was going to go if not you?
I voted. Sarah's gonna hate this. Sarah G is gonna hate this. I voted for Taylor St. Louis this round.
Okay.
Because I thought that maybe that had gained traction, and I wasn't gonna vote for Nico. If I had voted for Nico, I might be here because I don't know how close those votes were. But but Nico didn't vote for me in the end either. So, but that was I was just like, I'm not going to. I didn't think that I would be it. I thought that Nico would be it.
Yeah, Hannah, I think. Sorry.
No, it's good. Go ahead.
I think that vote was really close because Nico came into a room, I forget the 4 people who were in it, and he heard us saying we were all going to vote him, and I was going to block his vote. And then the plan became to vote you. Instead, it was like me, Aaron, like it was like a really random group of people. But I actually, I was a blocker. So it didn't really, Chelsea was there. Yes, it was me, Chelsea, Aaron, Dakota, I think. And I was a blocker. So for me, it didn't change anything. But I think Nico was able to convince the rest of the group to put the votes on you instead of him. I was blocking Geneva either way because I had agreed in my previous room to do that. Because basically, and I said this to someone, there were basically like 2 storylines I was hearing, which was like, we don't want to vote out Brent or Dakota because they're going after each other, and Hannah and Geneva and Nico are friends. Those were the only 2 things I was hearing for the first couple of rounds.
Right.
And honestly, out of the 3, I wanted to keep Nico because I thought if I got Hannah out, then Geneva and Nico would be less likely to work with each other, and that Nico could work with me. But I could never get in like a room with you long enough to like solidify anything after that.
I know, yeah.
And
yeah,
also
that round was crazy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like that whole end of that round was so crazy. Like
Yeah, I feel like votes flipped like in the last minute there.
I
like,
thought Nico was going anyway, regardless. I thought Nico was going anyway.
Well, like what happened is, the whole majority of the round, it was all good. And then, I came in on that room and Aaron was saying my name. I'm like, hold up a minute. Like, what are y'all saying here? Like, no, this ain't okay. So then they mentioned the trio thing. And that's when I was like, the hell? Like, why we are bringing up this trio thing? Like, it was literally round, I don't even know what round it was, but it was just crap again. So I was just like, this is not good.
So what did you do? What was your, like, it's one thing to bitch about something and be like, man, that's not cool. But it's another thing to be like, okay, let's do this instead.
Well, that's why I said, I'm like, if this trio thing is just going to keep happening, like we need to break it up now. And then they were saying like no one was going to vote for Geneva. They said the other attraction was Hannah. So I'm like, okay, yeah, like we're going to have to do it. Like,
did you vote for Hannah?
I didn't.
You didn't vote for Hannah. That's an amazing non-vote.
And neither of you voted for each other. And you guys no, we weren't that close. But it was like,
it's crazy.
We were going to do our best, but let's be honest. If we were in the, because I talked about with Geneva, I'm like, let's say that all of my final 2s, so Brayden, Geneva, Nico, and I are in a final 4 together. What are you going to do? And she's going to be like, well, Hannah, you have a final 2 with everyone.
Right.
So
to the comment,
Geneva would have pulled the plug, and Nico would have pulled the plug. Just
I would hope
time.
That would be better than what happened in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I didn't want to pull it there, but I knew that if it would come up again, I was gonna.
I was just gonna say, deeper in the game, like for sure, I would. It would. Why wouldn't like we would all have to sooner or later? So like I don't.
Yeah.
No,
Hannah, I wanted to tell you.
If it was getting down into jury and stuff, and we were back against the wall, and
you'd have
one
to.
of us, I'm like, sorry.
I think I wanted to live in a world where it's like, okay, I can have it all my way, but can't protect everyone, right?
Yeah.
And that's why people that flip and flop and vote their way, get farther.
Yeah, we hate those people. Hannah, I wanted to tell you, you follow in the footsteps of some great and not so great people from last season of Big Brother. When you hear they know each other, that's what it's always about. Like when people that is something that puts the fear of God into people when they think like that people have some sort of pre-existing strong relationship that they can rely on that you yourself don't have in the game. It is really enough to move hearts and minds, and that is why you got voted out here.
Yep.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you for being here tonight.
Yes.
Any last words? Anything else you'd like to say?
We're going to talk about the pre-jury room.
Oh, yeah, we can. What were you all saying?
I have to, but I think there's some people that want to know what happened there.
Yeah.
So I get in. And I'm talking with the other people about probably why I went and my frustrations and stuff. Right. And I mentioned you, Brent, and I'm like, well, I don't want to have beef with Brent. It's fine. I hope that it wasn't whatever. I don't want to be another Sarah G or Mary Payton, who, from what I've heard, not from what I know personally, but from what I've heard, have historically had beef with you that like got blown up in the community. I didn't want that. I don't want the drama. So
just for the record, Mary Payne and I, totally good. Love her to death. Okay, cool.
So that's why I mentioned those two names, and people were like, "What? What did you say about
Yes.
them? Why are you saying my name?" And I explained it to them. I hope, or at least Mary Payne.
Totally. You're fucking awesome.
And
Yes.
then I said, I shouldn't have said this. This should have been a conversation I just kept to myself with Geneva. But I said, if I could have dragged anyone, I would have dragged TSL. Right? Like if I had the opportunity.
So you said that in the pre-jury room?
Yeah, I said that in the pre-jury room. And people weren't too happy about that.
Well, she's a player in the game. It happens. Sorry about your feelings.
And I think people need to understand that drags aren't always like, we only see a certain side to someone. We see the sequester, right, versions of ourselves. We don't know who these people are. I don't know who she is, right? It's not personal because it can't be personal because it's like,
yeah, 20 amazing people.
And, yeah. I mean, and like I gunned for her, I got out. It's karma. Like, I don't think, but I mean, she obviously went on to win. So what is my, like, I don't think there should be any insecurity or worry there because she did a phenomenal job and she won.
Yeah, I think that needs to be moved past real quick, especially since she won. Like, there's no point in dwelling on that. It's silly. It's so silly.
Yeah.
So silly. Yeah.
So, yeah, I just want to make sure there wasn't any.
Cool.
That was cleared up.
How did you do in the pre-jury competition, by the way? Like, was it was typing or something?
So
because we saw the wheel.
I insisted.
I wanted puzzles so bad.
Because they couldn't decide on a wheel or on a puzzle or a typing contest, so they went to a wheel.
So
the
I
most
said,
ridiculous wheel of all time.
What I said is, I don't want to do puzzle because I don't know how to screenshot. I should have done puzzle, I think. The typing wasn't, I was shaking too. That wasn't helpful. And it required a lot of brain power, and I was very caffeinated, so I was a little bit all over
the place. Type backwards? Is that what it was?
Type backwards, yes.
Yeah, okay.
But I learned later, which I don't know if this is true. I hope someone can speak to this. I learned that Josh Calhoun copied the correct answers for the first 3 and pasted them. Wow. Which I don't want to start anything, but I was like, oh, okay.
How do you even do that?
I didn't win. I was out in that competition, and that's okay. I enjoyed
I thought about that. Believe me, I was going through everything. I'm like, okay, if that happens, like I was literally trying to type words in my head backwards in case I ended up, because I figured I might end up in that competition, right? And because I saw it happen in another mini, and I was like practicing typing words backwards, and then I'm like, is there a way I can like copy and paste? I'm like, but it only pastes forward. Like, there's no way to do that, right? So if he found a way, he's a genius. God bless him.
Yeah.
So but yeah, that's what happened, and it was fun to prep for, and it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah,
right? It was. I think
a good 2 hours. Yeah,
the pre-jury was very fun.
Good. I'm glad. I hope you had a good time.
Yeah,
you could have had a better time.
Play with Nico or Geneva again.
Yeah,
but that's only because every org I play with Geneva, I go pre-merge and she like makes jury or something, and she does phenomenal. Because she's Geneva and she's such a queen, right? And then Nico backstabs me, or I perceive him to be, throwing me under the bus, whether that's true or not. So, but yeah, it's playing in a mini where you know people beforehand is cool.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
I'm sure we'll see you again, Hannah. This is not the end.
We'll see. Thank you.
Just take a break, shake it off. You were awesome, Hannah. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on.
Good night.
Bye, Hannah.
Bye, Hannah.
All right, so that brings us to round 5, which was the highest even number of votes, which ended up in a tie between Aaron and Josh, which still wasn't broken. I feel like that's hard in the highest even number of votes. I mean, once it's a tie, you're basically done. It's just complete luck from there.
Yeah. I was mad that there was an odd number of voters left in the tie, because if it was odd, one side or the other would have ended up even, and we would have been fine.
I said that. As soon as it tied, I said, well, there's no point in strategizing. I was like, we're going to the wheel no matter what happens. Like, it could have been even, but I knew that but it's in God's hands at this point. There's nothing I can do. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, everyone's gonna vote for who they're gonna vote for. We're gonna probably go to the wheel.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And that was a long time, and that's when I knew it was
Dina. Yeah.
I
was
sadness.
Dina.
Honestly, guys, it the worst thing that could have happened in this prom?
No, I had prepared
No.
myself if it happened to me. I was like, it's not a bad way to
but
go out.
it's. I mean,
You can be the Rob
I guess
goddess.
You were Rob
I
goddess.
had so much fun. My lucky number is 5. I now went out 5th, and I've made top 5 twice. So maybe I need new favorite numbers. Number 1.
Number 1.
I was born 5'5". That's why it's Dina DeMaio behind me. Thank you.
That round. Were you were in my original room, and we created a 4-person thing to vote Aaron on this round, correct?
Yes.
Did you hold to that? I did.
I did not. I voted Chelsea.
Okay. So somehow maybe Aaron voted for himself, or somebody else voted for Aaron randomly. I don't know. But
sorry, Chelsea.
We got to an even number on that round. Chelsea, were you there as well?
Was I? I just heard my name that I got voted for.
I voted for it for the 10th
Sorry,
time.
girl. It was only me. It wasn't me, but like we were in a room of 5, and they were like, "We need a name. We need a name. We need a name." I didn't want to say Aaron because now we had 5, and I didn't know how we were going to do it. And the only name that I hadn't heard anybody say was Chelsea.
I hate that round because like the way that I play, my name doesn't get said until that round, and I just can't shake it. I don't know how to make it.
You were fine, girl. I got it.
I mean,
bit me in the ass. So
that round is just so hard. Like, I feel like you can't. I don't know what I was gonna say, but like
Josh should have played
any single person can go home that round, just because it's such a specific rule that like no matter what happens, you can't expect anything to go your way. You know what I mean? Like,
well, as Brent said too, it's double unlucky because we had that exact distribution of votes. Had we had it the other way, it would have been guaranteed to be broken anyway.
Yep.
Just based on math. And so it was sort of like a double. I mean, the rounds like that are really tough because, especially with ties, it just gets really confusing.
As soon as it went to wheel, I knew it was.
Yeah, we were in the room together. I know. I'm sure you did like me and like found what color you wore on the wheel quickly, and we're like, okay, where am I at?
As soon as it took a while. Yeah, as soon as it took a while, I was like, I'm not gonna survive a wheel twice. Like that's just, I'm a pretty religious person. And I was just like, it's not gonna go my way this time.
Well, look, Mama. I want to tell you this. I got to see a lot of the international mini that you got to play in, and I saw that there were a few people that were sort of discrediting your game. Mama, you kicked ass in that game, and you played your ass off. So you got a little unlucky this time, but you played awesome then.
I made top 5 as the only woman in the international game. I made top 5 in a game with 22 people. And both times I basically was taken out because my brain exploded because I knew I would win. So
I remember that game. That's the one I ranted about hard.
Yeah, hard.
Yes.
So I mean, I just feel really blessed to have been able to play with all of you guys. I feel really blessed that no one voted me out, so I still like all of you guys.
Yeah, right.
I want to play dogs, Dina.
And now I get to like have a vendetta with the wheel, call the wheel a racist, like really get to like do the thing with the wheel because that wheel's
drag that wheel.
Drag that wheel. And I just love you guys. So thank you so much, Charlie. It was like incredible getting to play with you twice in such a short period of time. I'm probably not going to be able to play Sequester for a little bit just because I have to go past the California bar exam. And my mother told me that I should probably be studying. I'm barred in New York and New Jersey, but California is a beast. But I'm just so thankful for all of you. I hope that we can like podcast together, play together, talk together. Let's keep the prom going. I'll send more pictures of the dogs.
Yes.
Please send all.
You guys missed the costume change. Maybe I'll do a whole montage tomorrow. This totally is a cult. It's the best cult ever. And I just love you guys. So
Dina, I love you.
Thank you, Dina.
It was really nice to meet you today,
You're an
Dina.
amazing
It was so
person.
nice to meet you guys.
Have a good night.
Mwah.
All right. So after that, we had the battle back in the typing challenge, which brought back Josh Calhoun and led us into round 6, the first round of the now or later vote, which ended in Aaron leaving. So what was the thoughts going into that? Were we looking to save our votes or go for it?
I can. So this is my one shiny moment in the game.
And by the way, our winner, congratulations.
Hey!
Here.
Yay!
Hey guys.
The now or later rounds, I knew from having watched. I moderated another private mini that some Survivor people did about a week ago, and I remember watching the buyback competition. It also was a typing competition, and when the guy got back in that game, Audrey gave him a choice. Said you can either have a secret LOS or you can be safe for the next 2 rounds. And when I saw that, I remember that. And he chose being safe for the next 2 rounds. And the next round was now or later. Okay. And so that happened. So I knew he was safe for the now and the later in that particular game that happened. Come to find out this game, I saw typing happen on the wheel and there was a buyback competition and he came back into the game and she did not announce that he was safe. And I'm like, he's got an LOS. I know he's got an LOS, and I'm going to tell my room that he's got an LOS. Now, I have no beef with Josh. I have no intention of seeing him go out of the game here, but I would like for him to burn the LOS. So I told my people in my room, and I don't remember who's in my room. Maybe you can help me if you were there.
I was in your room.
Okay. I was like...
We were in the room.
Okay.
It was us 3 and... I can't remember. But
TR, you came in later or something. The point being that I said we had a plan to vote for Aaron, because I think that was the original plan of the previous round. But I was also like, okay, I know Josh has an LOS, so like I'd be good with his name trickling about so that he learns about it, which it didn't really trickle about. I had to tell him myself.
Oh, I told him too.
Okay, good. Okay, maybe you told him that, or maybe he might have played dumb with me. I don't know. But I wanted him to know that his name was out there so that he would burn the LOS, which he did. He thought I went to his room and then I was like, some people are saying your name and they think you have an LOS, and he's like, well, I do have an LOS, and I'm like, okay, I'm not voting for you, I'm just telling you your name's out there. And he's like, well, I gotta go talk to some people, and he left in a hurry, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna play it now. You don't want to go out with an LOS in your pocket.
Brent, do we think now because of that no one can ever take the LOS again?
I think it's super bad. I think you should.
I think honest. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna give
honestly.
Or maybe switch up like you did.
Safety and look for an LOS.
No, I don't. Well, sorry, Geneva, you were shaking your head when I was describing what happened.
So I was in another room where Brent came in and he told us the situation, and I agreed with him because I actually remember seeing that on a mini that they announced safety. So I was like, oh yeah, he probably does have the LOS. So like I agreed with that. And like, but I remember I don't remember what private mini I watched, but I do remember I think there was one instance where I was like, if I were that person, I would take the safety and spend that time searching for an LOS.
Yeah. Which Louie, I agree with your point, which you just said, that if things stay the same, I would not be somebody who would be in favor of taking the LOS, because people are going to know that you have it. They're just going to expect it because they know this is the way things are done. You're going to have to take the 2-round safety, even though originally when this happened during the Survivor mini, I was like, he totally should have taken the LOS. Like, you want to because the safety's gone right away. The LOS you can use to do something with, but now that it's basically out, like the power of the LOS is the power that information is lacking and people don't know you have it. If people know you have it, it's totally useless. So
I think it was interesting on his part. Well, number one, if you hadn't said anything, I wouldn't have even known that, because I hadn't seen that in the past mini. I would have had no idea. But number two, I think with the way that he went out being by the wheel, I think he was smarter to take the LOS, because people were like, oh, well, you were robbed by the wheel, so we feel bad for you. We're going to not target you moving forward. Whereas if he had just been voted out regularly, I think people would have been more like, oh, well, let's just vote him out again. You know what I mean?
I totally agree. I think Louie and I were talking about this because we had the same conversation about the international mini, because the person who this happened to took the 2 rounds of safety. I think it was just so interesting for Calhoun to not only be eliminated on the wheel and then come back in the buyback and get the choice, because that's a different situation. You might not have gotten votes before, so who's to believe that you might get them these 2 rounds. So if anyone's going to take it, especially when no one's been targeted before, I don't blame him for taking it.
I don't blame him at all.
Yeah,
No.
totally.
Yeah,
But Brent, you were on it, and I was on it too. I had a different approach, which was like, oh, I want him to have it, so when I know his name is coming up in a different round, and he knows, it'll be a good opportunity for me to get someone out with like 3 votes. But your opportunity was to like, you want the LOS out of the game.
Here's the thing, is that I know from having moderated a couple of these that Audrey only keeps a certain number of LOSs in the game so that she avoids like advantage getting at the end of the game, because you don't know if people are going to play them. They might hoard them the entire time. So anybody that has an LOS, I generally would like them to play it sooner than later. That's my view on that.
Well, I had mine since like the 3rd or 4th round, but I didn't need to use it.
I was gonna hoard mine until I needed to use it on the safety chain, but we'll get to that in a minute.
No, but also, just funny commentary here. I was going into this game. I was like, I got a computer mouse. I'm on a different laptop. I'm like, I'm ready for these. Like, I got the screen on the side. I'm ready to get these LOSs. Didn't get any. And also, Brent, we had a brief conversation where you were complaining about that exact thing. You were like, I'm so slow. I never get these things. Like,
I was totally lying.
Yeah,
I was
you
pretty
were
good.
totally-
The one LOS I got tonight was the first LOS I've ever gotten in a mini ever.
I was really
It was the
good.
first time I got one too.
When it used to be first person to submit your vote, I was a god at that. But these dots, I can't.
Never got one of those. Never got one of those either.
And then sometimes I type it in, and then like Skype was like loading to send it, and I'm like,
oh no, that's the worst. Oh god, that's terrible. Anyway, I did want to say about the actual voting. TR was in a room with me. TR and Mal. Sorry, I'm just saying TR for short. TR and Mal were in a room with me. And I can't remember who we were with. It was Rayanne, and do you remember it was Janine, right? Yes, we all agreed we were going to split our votes this round. 2 of us were going to vote for Aaron. 2 of us were not going to vote and intentionally hold our vote till the next round. I was a little nervous at this point, but not. I think I got an LOS this round, but I was not nervous enough to play my LOS. And I said that I would vote with them, but I did not vote with them. I totally lied to them. Like
We didn't vote either.
You didn't vote either. That's
We
hilarious.
vote
It
for the
would
next
come like 2
round.
votes.
That's great.
There had been like 2 votes, and we'd been like, "Yeah, we voted, right?"
So Aaron got out on 4 votes, and we were like, "Yeah, so we did it."
Oh
Janine,
yeah,
Aaron,
right.
we
Me too.
voted
Me
for
too.
them, right?
Oh my god, it's so funny. Yeah, but then I have to keep up the lie though, so I keep having
that
to.
round. Mallory was like, "Pretend like you're typing," and I had to be like, "Oh."
I did too. I pretended like I was typing. Yeah. So I was like, so at the end of the round, I was like, I knew I had to commit to the lie because I had already was on thin ice with you guys because I had thrown your name out to Dakota in the first round, and I was like, okay, I have to make everybody believe that I do not have a vote here and that I already voted. I know, right? And I need to make sure that they know that so that they don't necessarily worry about me, or if they do worry about me, I hear about it, and the way I can play my LOS. The best laid plans. Anyway. So Aaron goes home here by 4 votes. Ineffective LOS, which was from Calhoun, which again, happy about. The funny part is when it was announced, I forgot that it was him. I'm like, oh yeah, I did that. And then Aaron was out of the game. So Aaron, King of Light. King of Lighting, I should say.
It was a blessing in disguise for me though, because he was saying my name like from the get-go.
Oh, Aaron
and
was?
I was I was like the minute that I get Aaron out is like the minute I can breathe in the game. So once he left at that point, I was like, thank God. Like
yeah.
And
And I
Taylor,
think-
you and I. Oh, sorry, Geneva, you go.
I was gonna say, I remember that Taylor was going to vote that round, but then
I was going to
because
vote that
we were,
round.
and then but then she like went to the bathroom, and then we were like, oh, did you vote? And she's like,
I
no,
know.
and none
It
of us had
wasn't-
used our vote in the room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't even that like I wanted to go to the bathroom and that's why I didn't use my vote. It's like I felt comfortable with the people that I was in a room with that I didn't need to vote that round.
Right.
And I would rather use my vote in the next round. And it ended up working, which I was surprised
That is
about, but
to my knowledge, that is the only time I lied in the game was when I did that. And I was all I wanted to look. If you guys remember the way it happened, TR Mal, like I said, anybody feel comfortable voting this round? TR and Mal.
Well,
I know, we volunteered first.
Well, what was funny was
You did?
I'm pretty sure before we wound up at the end of that round in that room
Yeah.
with you and made that deal, we made an exact same deal with 4 other people to vote
Okay.
this round on Aaron too,
So
and
we
we
just
also
went
we
with
lied
that.
to 2 different groups.
that
Okay,
was
that's
okay.
fine.
Yeah.
Well, and then it was like we were gonna do 2 and 2, and Rayanne and Janine and myself were like looking at each other, and I'm like, and they were not forthcoming. They wanted to save their votes, and I think Rayanne even said that she had already previously said that she was going to keep her vote. And I think Janine, yes, the same way. You decided you wanted to keep your vote. And Chelsea, you got more to add?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
I was in that first deal with TR, and I lied too. I didn't vote.
Yeah, I was in. I think I was in that.
Who the hell voted Aaron then?
No, yeah, because remember, TR, I was in that
TSL
room
did?
too. I was.
No,
in
I
that room
didn't.
with
I
y'all.
didn't.
You didn't? Okay, I'm sorry.
I saved my vote.
So,
I was
will
in that
anybody
room.
will anybody cop to voting for Aaron?
Anybody?
I didn't
Anybody? Anybody?
I didn't vote that round, but I was in that. I was in that.
No,
room with
everyone's shaking
TR.
their head. I don't know.
I promise. I voted Brett the next round.
Might be someone who's not here. I don't know.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. It
Yeah,
might
I
have been
didn't
like
vote
2 to
either,
1
yeah.
to 1 or something. 2 to 1 to 1.
Brandon or Dakota.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, possible.
Yeah, no,
That's
I have
weird.
no idea who voted because I saved mine too.
Rayanne told me she's not going to vote. That was the whole thing. She wanted to keep her vote. Like if she voted if she made me lie, that's terrible.
Wasn't Rayanne in that group with us? TR
Keely
and
voted.
Chelsea,
She
we
voted
were in
for
that
Brayden.
room.
Yeah, no, I was in that. I didn't vote. I told
Yeah,
you that
it
I
was
would, and I
us,
did not.
and then was it Rayanne in the
No,
group
it was Chelsea, Nico, Josh C. I don't know which one that was. And then Brayden.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
I don't know
right.
which one.
Yeah, and then
I've
remember,
been saying that all night.
and then remember you guys are like, go
Yeah,
ahead, go ahead.
me too.
We were supposed to meet back in room 4, and no one else. I came back to
went
room
back
4.
to room 4, and it was empty, and we sat
Me
there
too.
for like. Oh.
I came back later. I'm like, where is everyone? They all lied to me.
Might be.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Aaron goes home with only 4 votes, which is crazy. Again, Keely in the chat, it says it right. It was either 3 to 1 or it was 2 to 1 to 1, which is bizarre. But
literally best case scenario for me.
yeah, right. And of course, I'm feeling good at this point
Yeah.
because I'm like, okay, finally the fire has died down against me. I don't feel like anybody's necessarily coming for me. Like they could have come for me and they didn't, right? So I'm like, I'm feeling good, and I also have my vote, and I have my LOS, and I'm going into the second part of the now or later round, and Aaron's out of the game. So yeah, I'm finally starting to feel like good, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
So that moved us to round 7, the second half, and that light quickly disappeared.
Yes.
Basically, the names were you, Brayden, and Joshua, kind of most of
The worst
round,
part,
I would say.
as I said, is that I never heard my name because I had an LOS. I would have played it because I obviously played it in the second round when I felt nervous as hell, even though I didn't have them anywhere close to the majority of the votes in that round. So I would have Geneva, Calhoun, Charlie, Chelsea, Taylor, and Dakota all voted for me this round. That's only because I asked Audrey for that. So I have T on that. Yes, Taylor, fess up here. Why'd you want me out of the game so soon? And Charlie, why did you start this awful rumor to get me out of the game?
The reason why I voted you this round is because I felt like you wouldn't have expected it. It was like a very like nonchalant round, and I was like, people were targeting Brett at the beginning, but now they've died off. So I think they'll die off him for another round. If we can get Brett this round, he will have no idea. And it happened. So, and also we were never in the same room together, you and I.
Rarely, yeah.
No, yeah. I just voted you every chance I could.
You can vote me all day long, honey.
I voted if I have a target, I vote them every time because I know that whoever you can't vote for voted before whatever that is called round always comes up, and I want to have options because one time I played and I got stuck and I had 2 options I could vote for and I was like, well, shit. So
I didn't even think of that, to be honest. And I kind of like got.
Sorry.
Oh,
Did you
sorry.
get
Go ahead. Oh, you did like sorry. Who I was waiting to see. Dakota, did you get screwed when you could only vote for 2 people? Like, did you have to vote for like a friend or something? Or somebody okay. Cool.
Oh yeah, they were my friends too, and I was like, well, I only vote for one of y'all.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm gonna throw a vote and hope that I don't get votes my way. So I mean, that's why in the same thing in Night of the Living Dead, I voted for Kim Mattina every time I could, just because I was like, well, I'd rather keep voting her and then have options down the road if this twist does come up. You know.
All right, Charlie, out with it. What the fuck did
Well,
you vote
I
for
think
me
we're
here?
going to take a brief pause here.
Why? I was just getting to the good stuff.
Because we do have Sarah Y here, so I want her to be able.
That's a good reason to pause.
Yeah, and then we'll go back to the conversation and we'll continue around.
Do you want me to dip?
No, I'll go out. It's fine. We can all stay on if you want to, but I'm going to remove myself and put her in. Okay.
Sarah Y, who looked fucking gorgeous also tonight. What's up, Mama?
Carrie.
Carrie.
Oh, hey, I'm back because Janine has been sending me passive-aggressive comments and wants to talk, so I'm here.
All
It's
right.
not passive aggressive at all. Like, we had a private conversation that you said, let's talk about it on the podcast. And then I get here and you just weren't here. So I was just confused.
Okay.
Not passive aggressive at all.
Okay, you were saying like it speaks volumes and things like. I would say it's pretty passive aggressive.
It does. Like, why don't you want to have this conversation with me?
Okay, so Ginny, I would like you to explain what you think I did wrong by speaking up and leaving Lee's Mini, so that people can get your perspective.
Wrong for leaving Lee's Mini at all. I think that you have the right to leave. If you don't feel comfortable playing, that is your right. Absolutely. What I feel like after last night, when Sharifa and Susie made their point in their podcast, was that the entire cast, and I will own the fact that I piggybacked off Daniel K's idea to like raise money for Black Lives Matter through these minis because it's numbers. Like we're a huge group. Like we can make a difference. Like I can,
and we can motivate other people to give.
Cool.
Yes,
exactly. Or we can get a group of 20 people to donate $20, and that's a lot more money for the cause. Like that was my headspace. Like it came from a genuine place, but I did not think of the fact that it was a predominantly white cast. Like that didn't even register in my mind because I'm white. Like I'm blind to that because I'm white. And the entire cast is at fault for that, not just Lee. And when I said, let's raise money for Black Lives Matter, and nobody said, I don't think that's a good look because we're all white, I think that made us all accountable. And that's what that whole podcast last night was about. And that's what I've learned from listening to them speak. And like I hear it. And the fact that you posted and tried to act like you didn't know about the fundraising and you didn't know about the name of it, and like I don't even care about the name of it aspect, like that is beyond the point. Like the personal stake that I have in the matter is that it was my idea and nobody objected to it until Lee got backlash, and you threw him under the bus and you made it seem like you had nothing to do with it, and if you had known, you would have never been a part of it. And I don't think that that's fair, and I just want to hold everybody accountable, myself as well. Like I'm not targeting you. Like I am wrong too. Like I just think that we all need to acknowledge our part. That's it. That's all. That's my side.
Yeah, and I wanted to comment
to your side as well.
Yeah, and I wanted to say that I never had a problem with the fundraising aspect, which is what I said to you. Like raising money is great, whatever. But my problem was you literally tried to get me out of a game for something you knew nothing really about in like the large picture. You received a screenshot from someone, which I'm sure was also attached with Sarah Yell slander attached to it. Just my comment without Lee's post, any of the comments, and the other things associated with it. My thing was it was labeling it as a Black Lives Matter fundraiser. That is the big difference. It wasn't like raising money for a cause. It was labeling a mini as a charity mini when it was never a charity mini. It wasn't. Just like, do you think the prom one was a charity mini? Like we raised money, but would you call it a charity mini? No. Like there's a big difference. Like labeling something and branding it is very different. You know, it's almost like a white savior complex in a way. You know what I mean? Like and then when it's attached to this group of like an all white cast, and when the fact that this person who doesn't need to be named didn't reach out to the cast and made these choices without us that we are all attached to, it was just like, I thought it was very harmful. And people in the comments, I feel like people were saying like, oh, it's a fun cat. And like, we're just like not acknowledging people's feelings. And so I was very upset by it and I wanted to leave. And I think I told you this. I originally was gonna just go straight to the private mini group and just leave on my own and just be like, I don't really want to be a part of this. But then I was thinking, I think it's a lot more powerful to validate other people's feelings and thoughts and to do it in a public way, especially like when you're a person of privilege. I think I don't want to say like gives more validity to it. That shouldn't, but in a way it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I think people are like, oh, people are being sensitive when they're not, you know what I mean? All people's feelings are valid. So to say that like, not you, but like other people were saying like that other people were being more sensitive, you know, and that was the thing. It was the labeling. It was never the fundraising. And if you read my post, I literally said, I know you can't because it was deleted, but, and like, you didn't see those comments and you didn't see the initial post. You didn't see the name change. Like you didn't see any of that.
I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to like it's not about right or wrong with me. Like it was just a feeling that I felt like we all had overlooked something that was important, and I just the stance that you took, I felt like it.
You said you felt like I was trying to save face and I wasn't being genuine. That's what you said after in our conversation. And you also said that I should have
disingenuine.
No, you repeated that word so many times. It's like your favorite word.
And you put it in your post. That's my reason why I'm using it.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. Oh, I didn't think Lee was. And I think that's a fact. And I'm sure other people can attest. The mini itself wasn't. Like, we can go bigger picture on that. But I don't know. So
but that's what it is. It is the bigger picture here. And I don't know. I had an issue with it. And like, that's why I love these podcasts and I love the community, because like we can have the conversations. Like if I miss something and I am missing a piece of information, like let me know. Let me know that I'm wrong. Like I'm not so close-minded to think that like my thoughts are like the end all and be all. Like if I'm wrong, I'll be like, you know what, you're right. I'm sorry. I was sleeping when this all went down. Like I did only receive like a piece of the information. Like perhaps I'm wrong. And like I'm open to that. And I'm sorry if it seemed like I was coming at you. Like I was just generally upset because if you like, I think that Lee is a great guy and I think his intentions were pure, and there's been a lot of discussions about intents for its impact. And I just, from my perspective, I feel like that mini as a whole needed to like stick together and be like, you know, like, yeah, we were all wrong. It's not just Lee. And I think that we all let him take the fall for something that we all didn't see that was clearly there to people of color. And that's the only point I was trying to make. It's not that you are wrong or I am right or Lee's wrong and like everybody's right. It's just that they made a point last night that I was blind to, and I think that your comment didn't validate that, and it didn't hold anybody accountable for our oversight as a group. It's not individuals. Like we all did this. We all didn't see this. And it wasn't Lee, it wasn't you, it wasn't me, it was all of us. And that's my stance. And I don't think that I'm right or wrong. That's just my feelings. My feelings are not facts.
But you felt my comment was a reason to kick me out of a game.
Not kick you out of the game. I told you, I said I already, like, if I had to target somebody, I had reasons to target you because of Heroes vs. Villains. And like, this was just extra. Like, I could have easily spun it around and been like, okay, like I can look past that. It's not personal. It's a game. Like, let's work together in this game. But with that, it was like, okay, like at this point, it's not just a game thing. Like this is real life. And
I do want to say something though, because I was in that room initially
I want everybody to talk about it.
Yeah, no, when you were in that room initially with me, Charlie, and Josh, it wasn't about Heroes versus Villains. It was about what had happened recently, that you targeted Sarah. And that is the impression that I got, and that is the point that you had made. So for you to say that you're like, it was because of Heroes versus Villains, like that's not how you articulated it. So
no, I'm not. I'm saying that I had like an original reason. Like if
I know, but
the reason like Heroes
why
versus Villains was one, but then this was like, okay.
But the reason why you made
what I use in this game,
and you made it a thing for targeting Sarah, was because of what had happened the other day. It wasn't because of Heroes versus Villains.
I'm owning that. I'm not saying it was Heroes or Films at all.
Okay.
I will just say, as somebody who was just sort of from the outside looking in, and obviously was connected to this mini, from what I have been able to glean, it seems as though both of you have tried to do the best you possibly could with the information that you had at the time, and just came to different conclusions, and neither one of them are wrong. I'm trying not to place blame anywhere. And I think both people have, well, I think we have 20 amazing people in this fucking thing. And I think I see both sides. I feel like that maybe there was some information missing on Janine's side, but I also believe that, maybe there's something to be said for taking ownership of something in an all for one kind of thing. But it's a really tough situation. I mean, God bless you both. Yeah. I just have all the love in the world for you. And, usually I'm the one who puts my foot in my mouth. So I really empathize with both of you on this one.
Yeah, I definitely see both sides. I don't know if a constructive conversation was ever going to be had in the midst of a sequester mini. Like, you know, I know, Janine, I was felt like you were trying to get to Sarah for, you know, multiple, or at least the first
30
2 rounds.
minutes.
Like you were making an effort to do that. But even if you did, with room limits and other people there, I don't know if it was ever going to be the best situation to actually talk about it, just because the game is afoot, you know? So I think that was the main issue, you know, when we got down to it.
And I agree. Like, I completely agree. I think that I think that there's so much to be said for, like, face-to-face communication. Like, it's so easy to, like, have a conversation, like, through text, and, like, you can misconstrue tone, like, you don't get, like, so much. And, like, this was just something that, like, I don't know, I was just super inspired by, like, everybody on here the other day. And I just, like, I want to help, and I feel like I wasn't helping. And, like, I feel like the best way is to, like, hold myself accountable and, like, everybody. And I apologize to anybody who thinks this was the wrong platform. Like, perhaps it was. Like, I just, with pre-gaming and everything, maybe I could have waited. I don't know. It was here. Like, I'm not, like, I'm a real person. I can't play a game with you and pretend that, like, everything's hunky-dory when, like I feel like there's an actual issue that needs to be talked about. And it didn't need to, we didn't need to speak, like, the whole round. I just wanted to say, like, hey, like, you posted this, like, what was that all about? Like, I don't know. I'm always the first to admit I'm wrong in a situation. Like, I'm not perfect. I apologize.
Well, you know, none of us are perfect. You know, it happens. I mean, like, you know, give yourself a break. You know, like I agree with Louie. I don't think this is necessarily the best avenue to bring this up. Like, you're just not going to get what you want out of 2-minute conversation that you have. Even if you are able to get somebody in a room, there's going to be other people there, and they're going to be like, I remember, because I was in the room when you started talking to Sarah, and I was like, at first, because you said you wrote something on social media, and I'm like, oh, she's talking about me, because I'm usually me. And then I'm like, oh, she's not talking about me. And then I'm like, oh, she's talking about Sarah. And I'm like, oh, this sucks. This is about last night. And then I'm like, oh, this is outside the game. I don't want to talk about outside the game. I want to stay in the game. So, you know, probably a better call to wait till after the game to bring it up. But if you're not somebody who's capable of playing a game with somebody when you're currently mad at them, I certainly empathize with that as well. I hated that you bore the brunt of that, Sarah. What'd you say, Jean?
I said hindsight's 2020, and I apologize to Sarah. I can't. Like, I'm not a good pretender. Like, I don't lie. Like,
yeah,
that's just it.
I understand.
I'm not gonna fucking cry in a podcast, so.
No, it's okay. I'm the same way. Like,
someone has to cry. Someone has to cry on Podquester Mini, or else it's not a Podquester Mini. So thank you.
Exactly.
Sarah, honey, I had no idea you were going in the second round. I would not have voted for you, and I am really sad that something that was outside the game was the end of your game, because I think that's it. It wasn't about heroes versus villains. It was about last night.
Yeah.
That's what it was about. Yeah, I know. It sucks.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting. I don't know where the priorities were and who you were trying to protect. But in this scenario, but I don't know. That was my 2-piece. I felt like I had to come back because I was getting messages from Janine, and I hope you enjoyed our talk.
I just wanted to talk about it. That's all. Like, obviously, the game wasn't the best place to talk about it, and I honestly was looking more forward to this podcast and talking to you about it than I was to even playing the game. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to anybody who feels any type of way. I just feel so many things, and I don't know what to do with them.
That's how I was last night. Yeah.
I also just think 2 things. Sorry. The first thing is, like, there absolutely is an element of serious miscommunication here, at least at some level, that is happening, like, in the public sphere. And, like, you know, I think that, like, that is obviously, like, a big portion of this. And I think, like, it is hard in such an insular community where things are moving so fast to really, like, know what is fair game and what is acceptable. And I think we all need to learn together from what happened yesterday and much more serious, broader terms in ways that we can improve our community. And then also like in terms of how we handle things like this as a group. And so I'd say, as the person who organized this, to both of you, that I'm sorry that it has clearly had that this came of this. And I think that like we don't all have to be best friends here, but we all have to give each other the time of day. And I hope that there can be a civil resolution to this. And I also just, Janine, I was very confused about it. I asked you about it in jury. I didn't really understand what was happening and why exactly things were happening. And I know, Sarah.
Can I jump in really quick?
Yeah, sorry.
Like, honestly, I see people in the chat that are like, I don't understand what happened. The chain of events is this. When we decided to do this mini after in the shadow of Winners at War, I said, I will not play in this mini if there's fucking pre-gaming, because they pre-gamed to the end of time in that, and there were a lot of hurt feelings over that. I wanted to play as clean a game as possible. So I put it in the chat in big fat letters, no fucking pre-gaming. If I hear anything about pre-gaming, I am so fucking out, okay? That is what happened in the group chat, all right? So that was like a week ago. Fast forward to last night, Janine's feeling a certain way. Sarah makes a post about how she feels about being included in that mini. It was a different mini that we're talking about. Obviously, there was the subject of the Brown Girl breakdown last night. And Janine works nights. And then fast forward to today, she has an opportunity to talk to Sarah off stream, but again, my voice is ringing her in her ear. No fucking pre-gaming, and I was pretty insistent about that. So she was like, I don't want to talk to her about it beforehand because it might be perceived by other people as pre-gaming. And she's apparently not someone who could just look past it until after the game. I'm not giving her a pass. I'm just saying that this is the chain of events. What happened? She decided I have to deal with this now. I want to deal with this now. I want to talk to Sarah, and that's what she was like when I was talking to Jean in the game. She was like, I remember going into the round one running into Janine. She was like, I know, but I really need to talk to Sarah. And I'm like, okay, but I had no idea what it was about, but I knew she wanted to talk to Sarah about something. And then, you saw what happened from there. So that is how things, spiraled out of control in some ways, and some hurt feelings got caused. And I hope both of you were able to heal. That's all I can say.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Of course we're fine. Like, I just wanted to have the conversation because I can't. It was eating at me like all night at work. Like, I know people are sleeping and like all day. I'm like, I need to sleep. I'm like, I can't like articulate myself when I'm sleep deprived. So I'm like I said, I'm sorry. I don't want to be perceived. And Brent, like, I feel like you can release like what is the right thing. I just want to do what's right.
I know.
Like,
I was insistent about it. You're right. Yeah, I know. I get it. Look, you guys are trying to do the best you can. I think you both did.
I know, but I also,
cut yourself a break.
Spend any more time talking about
okay.
it because I don't know. I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm sorry. It was wrong time, please. My bad. Like, it's nothing against you. I just saw like a friend of mine taking the heat for something that I thought that we were all wrong for. It was hard. It was hard, especially because it was my idea. Like, I brought it up, so I just felt responsible. And that's all. That's literally all. I'm done. Can you put me backstage so that I can like fucking fix my face?
Absolutely. Sarah, anything else before you go? I know if you want to talk about the game a little bit, I know we didn't really get to talk to you about that at all, but
no, I think I'm good.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you coming back.
I wasn't going to. She literally was messaging me saying like speaks volumes that I'm not.
I know.
I literally felt I didn't want to. Like, I literally was feeling I felt forced.
I know. It's evident. Look, it's completely evident. You wanted to handle this off stream. She was somebody who needed to handle it on stream, and that's where it fell apart.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, honey. I really am. I really am.
Wait, Sarah. I have to say this. Just I have a lot of personal relationships in the community that I would be remiss to say, and I'd be missing the opportunity if I didn't say that they really appreciated what you did. and how you handled that situation. And a lot of those people came from marginalized communities. And so today did not go well. Yesterday did not go well. I think a lot of people were very proud of the decision that you made and the way that you did it. So I'll just say that.
100%.
Yeah, which is why she told me to apologize for what I did, and I will not apologize. So,
yeah.
Okay. I'll leave that. Continue, guys. Sorry if I'm a vibe killer.
No,
you're fine.
Thank you for coming.
You're a great girl. I love you.
Bye.
So now if I just yell at Charlie, it's gonna look trivial.
Let's go. No,
well, no, this is what we need to get back to. Though,
I'm
because
ready.
I wanna
I
hear
can
all
take
that.
it.
Here, let's go back into where we were.
I'll be
round
back.
7, and Charlie, you took full credit for this afterwards. So I want to hear.
So I
let's have
gotta
the full
talk about it for a second, and I'm gonna preface it with some, niceties, which is just that I love Brent. I have been watching Brent for forever. I consider Brent a friend of mine, point blank. I've talked to my friends about you. I was so excited that you were playing this game. A million things like that. I will say that I've played a lot of minis now, and I think I've done like, I'm just gonna like make it fun and do everything that I can to go crazy and do viewership. That's what I did in my first 3 minis. Like, that's exactly what I did. Like,
how did you do in those?
I got 9th, 10th, and then Heroes vs. Villains. You know how I did in Heroes vs. Villains, like 17th, I think, 16th.
Yeah, well, you can get your feet wet in that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I can get in there. For me, I said coming into this game, like, I was very strict about the no pre-gaming rule. I sent Chelsea a message about like her Big Brother video she made, and I was like, oh, was that pre-gaming? Like, that's how strict I was, because I also really agreed with the no pre-gaming thing. I don't have time for that shit. I just don't. I have other shit going on. But for me, I said I need Brent or Brayden, but I cannot have Brent and Brayden. And that had to be a rule for me going into this game. And the reason was, eventually I knew I was going to be the foil for you two. Like, eventually I felt like not going up, hopefully in the first couple of rounds, was gonna be the person that you would target. In this round, everyone in my room had not voted in the previous round. I actually wanted Brayden out, but I brought up that dichotomy sort of to try and instill that idea in the people I was in the room with. And they were much more willing to go with Brent. And then I said, okay, because Brayden, I had been in a room with him once in the game, and he said, I'm never voting for you because I know I need you, And so for me, it's like, I made that decision because I wanted to win. And I think I did really well in this last mini I played like 5 days ago, and I wanted to win, and I needed to implement a winning strategy. I would have rather gotten 20th, and on some level, I felt like it was the best move, because I felt like the two of you also could have like really collaborated in an effort to get me out, especially knowing that the history hasn't repeated itself around, hadn't happened yet, and my name wasn't coming out, Whereas you two were probably getting a lot of hinky votes by then. So that was my reasoning for it. And
so my thinking is this: like, Brayden plays a lot of fucking minis. I never do. I haven't played a mini in over 3 months since they started. I did this one because I wanted to give it some press and try to use whatever platform I have to try to get the word out there about Audrey's minis. Little did I know she was not going to need my help, because people are signing up for minis left and right. So that was the reason why I did it. So if you're given the choice between Brayden and me, honey, I feel like the clear call is to go for Brayden. Like, what the fuck? You knew we were good. Like, I mean, I'm like, you know what? Keep me around a little bit. Like, let me play. I feel like there were a lot of people who hadn't got a chance to see me play, who wanted to see me play a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just felt like you were like a little bit of a boner killer, like trying to get me out right away. And so you got me out at the final 15. That's where you, like, your grand plan to get Brent out was at the final fucking 15. I don't even know how to follow that path that you're like, okay, I need this to happen. I mean, like, look, you took a shot at me, you got me, good. I'm just like, it felt fucking petty to me. That's where I'm coming from, because like, I never fucking play in these. Like, why the fuck are you coming for me now?
Bless you.
Like,
I mean,
God damn it,
like,
Charlie.
Like I said at the beginning, like it wasn't like specifically for you. I felt like there were archetypes that I needed to have in the game to have a winning path, and like, you know, I mean,
Which, by the way, I disagree with, because I feel like you got 7th place in this one when you got 9th and 10th before, so it didn't really improve you by a lot. And the reason you went out of this game was because you ran out of shields. They looked around the room and they said, "Who's running the fucking game? It's Charlie. We have to get rid of him." And then you go out of the game. So
yeah, and then
for that,
sure, maybe I played bad and I got what I deserved.
Well, I'm just coming at you from a game perspective.
No,
like, I mean,
and do that, but
it was a terrible fucking move, and it was personal
Brent,
to me.
Brent, it was not personal. Like, I don't know how many times I can say it was not at you personally.
I can snap. People in the chat are like,
yeah, go ahead, say snap, whatever.
I feel like I'm being cooled in. Like, I'm like, what? This is gonna suck, man. Like, I never play these. I play one fucking private, and you let me get to the final 15, and you say no mas. Like, give me a fucking break. You too, TSL. Like, come on. Like, Geneva.
Can I say something? Well, so
Yes?
one thing I just want to bring up too was a lot of people were talking about you bringing up the whole Joshua situation, and like they felt like that could be potentially dangerous in the game, that you are knowledgeable about these twists that people weren't even aware of. So that was an aspect. And in addition, you know, Charlie was mentioning the whole, like, there's only so much we could keep the, you know, these big targets in the game, like, and keep them and allow them to go further. Because a lot of us were like, oh, let's keep them fighting each other. Like, let's keep these people, like, you know, even Dakota included.
Final
like
15. I'm just saying. There was
I'm
much wallpaper still left.
What happened.
So much wallpaper still left in the game at that point. I'm like, you have to have me out of the game. Go ahead, TSL. Sorry.
I have a different perspective though, because I saw it as a round that I could get you out without you realizing that you were going. And
to
it
be honest,
wasn't because
I have the least of a problem with you, only because I felt like it comes off as purely game. Where I was just like, and I wasn't expecting much from you, if I'm being honest. Like, I know you're big friends with Sarah. She hates me. I get it. I'm not mad about it. It's fine. I'm not mad. I know you were cool, and I know you play your own game, but I'm guessing I'm not in your Final Four plans. Okay, give or take.
I also
probably
don't think that I was in yours though.
Probably not.
Reciprocative.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly,
Then,
which is why I'm cool. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But everybody else, I'm just like, especially Charlie, who, like, I worked, you know, he needed some things done for the mini. I got them done for the mini, and then like final 15, dude, it was just like,
I mean,
Brent, man, come on, like you couldn't have gotten these fucking idiots out of here who like don't contribute anything.
Look, I mean, to me, it's like I'm
not naming names, Brittany, but I keep it real.
No, to me, like, Brent, and you're entitled to feel about it however you want to feel. Like, I'm about this game, and I felt like I had to do it for my game, and that's all I have to say. And I don't know. I mean, look, I mean, if you know, the audience watching me like knows, like, I don't know. I want that. I want a fun time. I went 2 rounds after this. I went incredibly hard after TR and Mallory, who are probably my best friends in the cast, who have helped.
Fuck.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But I went incredibly hard for them. I wanted to get them out.
I just didn't understand why you're going after the Lions, because after I went out, then Geneva goes out, TR and Mallory go out. It's like a long line of people, and then you're left at the end with nobody to protect yourself. I don't understand how you can defend that from a game point of view, not to mention the personal point of view.
Wait. Okay. You attack, like, say whatever you want to say about my game. You can say I'm the worst player ever. I can take that. But I resent the accusation that it's personal. It was not personal. It was game.
It felt personal because you have all these other people that you don't talk to, that you don't really care about, and you can't eliminate, who aren't doing much in the game at that point, and you can't eliminate them. I felt like it was a little bit too soon. You can say I'm whining. That's fine. I'm whining about it. Yeah.
Brent, I mean, look, I'm not going to say anything about what you're saying. You're entitled to feel exactly how you want to feel. I hope that we can be cool about it.
We're good. We're good. Just like, I mean, no, yeah.
I just don't, like, no bone in my body was like, I feel negatively about Brent and I need him out. It was all game. It was all, I want to win this. And yeah, you can say it was shitty strategy and it worked out against me. Many will agree with you. But you know what? Like, I'm learning, I'm getting better, I'm improving, and I'm happy with the game that I played today. And maybe I shouldn't be, but
I think there definitely was a case.
But it's just like that's what I have to say about it. I don't know. I've gotten voted out so many times, made so many mistakes, thought it was petty so many times. I've never said a even slightly negative word to anyone about it afterwards.
It's not my forte. As you saw with Geneva in the group chat, if I'm feeling a certain way about somebody, I'll let them have it. So like I try to keep it as real as possible, even if it your feelings might get a little bit hurt about it. But like, I mean, I feel like I was well grounded on this one. Like I couldn't defend it from a game point of view, and it was like the final 15. Like, and I never play in these. Like, come on. Like, I felt like there were other people that got handouts and I got none. So yeah, that's kind of how I felt.
I mean, every other round, I was making a big push to keep you because you and Dakota were fighting, and I felt like in this round I would have preferred to vote out Brayden, but it would have been bad for my game to really obviously be like, no,
cool.
I need to vote out.
Cool.
I mean,
yeah.
Is it? Because if
let's hear about the. I want to hear all about the scintillating plans of all the what else happened after I left. So I will depart the stage. Go ahead.
Well, Brent, I wanted to ask you, because I think that was one of the things that we discussed a little bit on the draft. I don't know if you saw that, but we were discussing coming in because, I mean, for the most part, you've kind of written the book on the strategy of this game, and you've said a lot about how.
What did it get me? Nothing.
Well, I mean, I was curious as to if you were planning on switching up your gameplay going in.
Nah.
Because I was concerned that everybody would kind of know what was coming next with you because it has been so out
I'm a fucking open book, man. I keep it real with people. Like, I really do. I like I said, I told one fucking lie in the entire game where, like I said, I lied and I lied about who I was going to vote for. Or I lied that I voted in the first place. That was what I lied about. Everything else I was on the up and up about. There's a method to my madness. I'm trying to, like me, or you can love me or hate me, but you know what you're going to get with me. And I felt like that, given that the fans hadn't had a chance to see me very often, I felt like it wouldn't have been too much to ask for me to make like Final 13, Final 12, Final 11, But TSL's point about trying to get me when I wasn't expecting it was fair, is grounded well. And Geneva's point about me knowing a little bit more than some other people about the twists is well grounded as well. So I can accept that.
Also do want to say that, like, regardless of how much information you know about somebody going into the game, when you're in the game, for me at least, it's like all thrown out the window. Like, there's so much stress and anxiety that, like, you don't focus on what you already know about somebody. It's more so in the moment, at least for me. So, like, I'd say that's true. Brent or somebody because I feel like they know so much about the game more so than I would. I feel like I play more in the moment because of the stress and anxiety and pressure and things like that. So
and I was never even like, I never went really into this game either, like being like, I'm going to intentionally target Brent regardless of what people have said and what's gone on between us. Cause I was just like, the game is the game and things are going to go in the way they go. So like, that was never really a thought in my mind. So I just want you to know that like,
I knew you could look past it.
It was not that. And like, I mean, I didn't vote for you for rounds. And so like because if I really wanted you out, I would have probably voted, like, try to get you out at the beginning, but that was like never really a thing for me. So and I thought, I even thought about that too. And I was like, well, people are probably watching to see Brent. And if we vote out Brent pretty early, like that's also kind of, bad. But like, then I was like, well, okay, it's been some time. So
as someone who never was not in a position of power a whole lot to make decisions, I would have loved to play with someone like Brent because he's very predictable. You know what he's going to do. He tells you. I would have really enjoyed
we're voting Jenny. God damn it. Sorry. Just have it from my old Robert's the Podcast Mini where Jenny was in the room and I'm like, we're voting Jenny. Like, okay, cool.
I love Jenny Autumn. Fuck off.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, she's fucking great. I love her to death. Yeah.
Dakota was the new Jenny this time around.
Yeah, he was. But I learned my lesson though. And I went down swinging with Jenny, and this time I was like, fuck it, I'm not voting for Dakota anymore. He can go fuck himself.
All right, so that brought us to the end of round 7. Brent, you're welcome to stay if you like. Or...
Brent, I love you no
I'm
matter
good.
what. I don't care. I don't care if you dislike me. I'm gonna like you no matter what.
I don't
okay?
dislike you.
All right.
I'm allowed to be in my feelings. Why?
Okay.
It's not okay if I'm in my feelings. Geneva, it's okay if I'm in my feelings, right? It's like
I mean,
you know.
we all have feelings, so
Thank you.
I don't think
Yes.
I don't think there's anything wrong to have feelings.
Thank you.
Feelings are allowed.
I'm
Feelings
not
are
going to
valid.
TP Charlie's house. If only I knew where it was.
Oberlin, Ohio, baby. Get here.
Right? I didn't know you lived that close to me. I live just outside Cincy, actually.
Oh, seriously? Okay.
Yeah, for
Different
real.
conversation.
Yeah.
Our makeup
Yeah,
conversation.
cool. Yeah, sounds good. Yes, thank you, Renzo. My feelings are valid. Bless you. I remember, Renzo, you liked some nasty tweet about me that someone posted. I remember that name. I'm coming for you next time.
International mini icon, right?
I remember names. Anyways, you can follow me at OneLuckyGay. Thank you guys for. I had a good time tonight. It was a lot of fun. And congratulations, TSL. Mwah.
Thanks for coming on, Brent.
You are
Thank
welcome.
you. It means a
I will
lot.
depart.
All right.
See ya.
So that moves us on to round 8. We'll start picking up some steam here since I know it's late. This was the second highest person with votes. Second highest votes goes home. A lot of Josh mentions
I
here.
say there's no way that I wasn't in the tie at the top.
Yeah, it was basically, I believe the plan was just vote a Josh C. Doesn't really matter which Josh C, pick a Josh C and go with it.
I didn't know.
But it ended up with Rayanne going.
I voted Janine for this round.
I actually voted Rant because I was in a room with a couple people and we were talking about like maybe there's going to be someone who's going to be targeted a lot, so let's not vote for the person. So we all agreed to just vote, like another person, and then that's what essentially happened, at least in that round for me. So
I also really liked both the Joshes, so I did not want to vote for them. So I was like, anybody else.
I don't remember who was in the room with me, but I think it might have been Brayden, but at the very beginning of the round, we were like, all right, we're going to push both of the Joshes, but we're going to vote Ray.
Yeah, it was
I think it was me.
And I think, we were in there too.
Yeah.
When Rayanne went, I
Or
was
maybe it was this
so
happened in
confused.
I think
had no
it
idea
was maybe me, Chelsea, and Brayden.
that voted Rayanne.
Well, I'm pretty sure Dakota, we were in a room and we were like, we'll just push a Josh C, and when someone asks which one, we can be like, I don't know. We'll just go with whichever.
Yeah.
I love
when
Josh.
you heard.
I love Josh, but man, that just made it difficult for me.
Oh, yeah.
I bet, yeah.
In a spot where I always already felt like I was just climbing uphill the whole night, to have another Josh another Josh C at that, it's not helpful.
Yeah, that was a crazy round.
Yeah.
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 Moving on.
Please give a nighttime pod.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of
I'm like sitting here and I'm like,
second highest, that was where Rayanne was eliminated.
Yeah, so Rayanne was eliminated there. We can speed past that one.
Which was a surprise a little bit. Like, it was brought up at the last moment. I didn't know how much traction that would have had.
I voted Brayden that round. Actually, I lied. I voted Brayden. I don't know.
I voted Rayanne. I thought that was the plan the whole time.
I think Josh might have voted you this round. We voted you a lot.
Yeah, I heard.
It featured one of my favorite lines of the night from Janine, who got into a room and she said, I was just in a room with the Joshes. It was Josh and me and Josh. It was a Josh sandwich.
I said Josh sandwich that night.
That happened a
Well,
couple
not that
times
night.
throughout the
It's
night.
literally tonight. What am I talking about? I said Josh sandwich
No,
tonight.
and we're
so-
getting close to morning now, so.
Right. But I think the one specific thing that was brought up in our room was like, we need 2 names before we leave this room.
Yeah.
One name to push, and then one name that we're actually going to vote. So that's kind of what that was kind of our strategy in that situation, which is what led to, I guess, Rayanne going home.
It did. And then we got into round 9, which was History Cannot Repeat Itself, which was actually the first of 2 History Can't Repeat Itself on the night, which we haven't seen before.
I was dead set this round. I was ready to go. I was like, I voted Brent 6 times. I can vote for whoever I want.
And this is the round that ended up with Geneva leaving. So let's discuss this one a little bit.
I had absolutely no idea.
This is if I remember correctly, TR and Mal, we were in a room and
I voted
we talked
Geneva.
about this, right?
Taylor, did you vote Geneva with me?
I'm not gonna lie, I was the first person to say Geneva's name.
I think me and Taylor were together.
I'm sorry, Geneva. It was the fact that like these rounds, in my eyes, you need to vote for somebody that's very likable, which is why I voted for
That's
you
what
this
that was
round,
my reasoning.
and why I voted for
That was our
you
reasoning too.
the other round.
I think I ended up with
I specifically only heard about TR and Mal, and so like I was like, well, I guess we don't have that Orlando connection, do we?
I'm so sad
We
didn't
literally,
get-
this was the one round that we had talked about, and we were like, we know in this round we have to be aggressive because we weren't anticipating coming up
this
super
round,
early.
it makes me paranoid because there's been multiple times where I've played, and this round has like really screwed me, or almost damn near screwed me. And so, like, literally, it was funny. Like, we spent so many rounds like on mute, like talking to each other like this, going like, "What are you gonna do? What's going on? Like, what happens if this is the next choice? What's gonna happen here?" And before the history can't repeat the first one, I literally was like, "I feel like history can't repeat. Like, if that comes up, like that's
True. No, yeah.
Like, so, like, if it's gonna be us or someone else, so we really have to push someone.
Who's the best, most likable, nicest person?
Boom. Sorry, Geneva.
And history did repeat itself because in the 5-8 mini, I went out 13th. So yeah.
Oh, right, the same place?
Same
Oh my
place.
God.
It was a
Yeah, but it
different
was safety
split,
chain.
but-
Different, yeah. So safety chain, but it was like weird that that placement was the same.
Well,
and
we
it's
went
funny
out- we
too
went out
because
right after.
Brandon and Taylor also made it to Final Four in that mini too. So it's like, whoa, it's like I'm reliving the situation a month later. So
It wasn't my fault.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure right after we left, or I left TR and Mal, and we said Geneva, I ended up in a room with like Keely, and then Geneva came in and some people, and they were trying to push you two. So like, it was going back and forth at that moment.
Honestly, that's all I heard too. Was that round was TR and Mallory? So I was like, okay, I guess we're going after the duo here. Like,
But for what it's worth,
here.
you made me make a pinky promise, and that was enough for me to
the
not
thing
vote
was,
for
I didn't even have a
you guys.
vote for TR and Mal because there was one random round where I just threw a vote out there and I wrote TR. So
Yeah,
like,
that's amazing. I love
That's
that.
the round when you came into the
Thank
room and we were
goodness.
talking about, and you're like, actually, I just promised them that I wouldn't vote for them. We're like, okay, so who else are we gonna do? We're like, because we were like talking about, like, are we really gonna go after the duo right here? Like, everyone was so scared to do it. We're like, okay, well, I guess we're doing it. Let's
and
do
we were
it.
hearing 2 for 1, like,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a situation, and we were just like, oh, but then I couldn't vote for you guys anyway. So
Yeah,
I was
so-
like, well, I don't know, and I don't have an LOS, so.
Here we go.
Yeah, and then my room, I don't know if most of them were actually really shocked, but everyone's faces were like, what in the world just happened? But I didn't really hear my name, obviously, because I wasn't in those rooms where it happened.
Yeah.
So
I think I was added so I could say the fact that I voted Josh C one round, but I couldn't remember which Josh C it was. So then when History Can't Repeat Itself came up, I was like, well, now I can't vote for either one because I don't know which one it was. And I was like,
you
shit.
can message Audrey, can I vote for the other Josh?
I didn't remember
Right?
which one it was. I think it was. I don't know. I still
Probably-
don't know. I don't know.
Oh
I don't
man.
remember a lot of that many. Sorry.
Yeah, and I think it was interesting because also throughout the rounds prior to that, a lot of people were like, oh no one's targeting you, Hannah's gone, and I'm just like, I don't believe that, because honestly I feel like going into this mini for me, I feel like I kind of weirdly had a lot to live up to. I think there were a lot of high expectations for me in this game, and I think that was also kind of stressful because I appreciate all the love and support that I've gotten in the community, but also it's like, because everyone knows that a bunch of people are rooting for me, it's also like, that's the obvious reason why a bunch of people are like, well, you're likable, so we got to get rid of you. So that's just where I think
It was
that's
that second.
also
It was
complex
that
too.
second pick draft, girl.
I was
It
gonna
that-
say,
it was
yeah,
that
when you
pick
start getting
second in
Yeah.
Private
it's a
Chapter.
double-edged sword.
Yeah, when I
Ah.
saw that, I was like, I love you, Renee, but I know this is going to put a huge target on my back. So, yeah, that's kind of how I felt there. But Renee won the draft, so.
Right.
I love you, Renee.
Renee won the draft.
5'8" selection pick, so.
Yeah,
5'8" for life.
Everyone. And then this was the round where I declared TR and Mallory were my parents. My adoption papers are in the mail.
Seems like they have a lot of
The next
kids
round.
now.
We've gotten a lot
good
of requests.
time,
We're now adopted parents to a lot of people. So.
Well, okay, well, you gotta pick me or someone else. I'll revoke my papers.
Oh,
but then I sent them home.
Well, yeah. So at the end of round 9, it was the end for Geneva. Geneva, anything else? Any last words? How was your overall experience before we let you?
I mean,
go for
it
the
was.
night?
I mean, it was fine. It was fun. I'm glad I got to be a part of such, I think, a memorable mini. But unfortunately, I think I kind of like lost before I even started, to be honest. I think I was in room 5, so that's always doomed. And I think obviously I was just a target, and people I was associated with made me a target. So, I mean, I wish it could have gone better, but at the end of the day, like, I guess, I don't know, I have a weird 13th place type situation. So, but, you know, I'm thankful for Charlie for allowing me to be part of it, and for Audrey for hosting it. I loved all the music, all the special prom effects and everything. And yeah, hopefully there's one day where I don't get robbed. So
it'll happen. It'll happen. Thank you, Geneva,
thank you
for
so
joining
much
us.
for inviting me, and congrats TSL and
Thank you.
everybody who did wonderfully well in the game. So
thank you.
Have a good evening, guys.
Have a good night. All right, so that brings us to round 10, which was the safety pass-off round, which ended with TR and Mallory going out.
Oh my God.
One of the
Iconic. Sorry, iconic for me at least.
Let's talk how we got there. It did go. It went.
Let's talk how we got there.
It went really
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm sure Dakota soured too. He had to burn an LOS that round.
Oh yeah, I was livid.
Well, so what did you?
So it
I guess
started.
my main question for that was, what were you expecting with? Obviously, you were very mad at Josh Calhoun there. What were you? Expecting? Like, why did you feel like he was going to give you that safety? Like,
we were in a room. It was me, him, TSL, and Janine. And at that point, Janine was safe, and she said, "Okay, Josh is going to give it to Taylor, or I'm going to give it to Taylor. Taylor's going to give it to Josh. Josh will give it to you." And we're all like, "Okay, cool, great. Sounds like a great deal." And then it happened, and then Josh Calhoun got it, and he was like, "Just kidding, I'm not. Bye," and left.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like, I thought we had a thing going. And then I was like, well, damn. And then it came down to Brandon, who I was like, okay, well, Brandon will 100% save me. Like,
yeah, because we were in a group, Charlie, Dakota, us, and Brandon, the 4 of us. We were like, okay, the 4 of us, any configuration, whatever, we're going to go through that. Sorry, audience, it's boring, but that's how we're going to do it. We promise.
Even like that configuration was great, but like, even just because we've known each other for 3 freaking years, like, save me. No offense. And then
yeah, Brandon, get him on his podcast.
Then he saved Nico, and I was like, well, no, F Brandon too. And this is when my peak drunken state hit, and I was really mean, and I apologized to everyone for having to deal with that. And then, I mean, yeah, I know it wasn't my reaction.
Oh my god, guys, I really thought I was dead this round. When we were getting down to the wire, I was like, uh-oh, this is how...
Wait, TSL, did I scream at Josh?
Yeah. No.
They said I screamed at Josh when he got safety to save me.
You didn't scream at him. It was
I think I just thought that it was like a done thing. Like, if the positions were swapped, I would have saved him.
Yeah, no, I thought it was like set in stone, but he didn't. So like, I understand why you're pissed off.
But and then I mean, I had my LOS that I got from the green dot round 2, so I was like, okay, well, at least it comes down to this, and I have to waste it for no reason, even though I could have saved it for later if I wanted to. But then I used it, and I was so upset that I had to use it on you guys. I was so upset. So upset.
It was our own fault. I really don't think that we jumped around enough.
Braden tried to warn us, and you know what? Admittedly, I was like calm down, Brayden. You're fine.
Yeah.
Like, we connected with Chelsea in a room together, one-on-one, and surely Chelsea was like, I don't know what's going on. I feel like out of the loop with everyone. And we were like, oh, we're good together. We're good. So, you know, if she gets it, she'll give it to us. That didn't pan out. Then I was like, okay, well, you know, the four of us, Charlie, Dakota, me, Brandon, Mallory, well, 5 of us, whatever, you know, we're going to go give it to each other. That didn't pan out. So, you know.
Well, we were like never in the room with someone who actually had the safety at that moment. So I think we were just screwed. And as soon as it came down to either us or you, Dakota, we knew you must have an LOS.
When Audrey said, now would be the time to play, I was like, Audrey, you know if he has an LOS.
Play
Like,
the LOS, Dakota.
come on. That's code for Dakota has an LOS. And unless he somehow forgets.
And I think, like, you go into a round like this, having like however many people you have like in your back pocket, like I felt like I did. And when you have one person, then another person, then another one of those people who aren't saving you when you think that they would, it just sucks. Like, and that's why I was like, that's why I think I overreacted more than I should have, just because I felt like going into this round, like I was 100% safe. I don't think I should have ended at the end of the chain like I did. And then I was there and I was like, well, great. So I apologize to everyone. I was mean to Josh Calhoun. I don't know if he's coming or not, but
I don't think so. Yeah.
Sorry.
Can I explain my reasoning for giving safety to who I gave it to?
Yeah, Chelsea, please.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
perfect.
would love to hear it.
So on the draft, Andy said that I needed to change up my game, but I really just wanted to say
So
fuck
we have
that.
Andy to blame.
Yeah, so we have I didn't. Yeah, I didn't
Took all
change
my
up my
advice
game.
from
I
Andy.
wanted to find one person like I had with Marquise that I knew would be my ride or die no matter what, and that was Brandon. And that was just like I saved Marquise
You
over
could have had
everything.
2 ride or dies.
But you
could
only
have had
have
2 ride or dies.
one.
Yeah,
But
well,
you-
whatever.
They could have adopted you also.
We got 2 heads.
They've got They've got too
This
many
was
kids.
this is when I was like, well, if they're not gonna save me in the safety chain, I know if I make the final 4 with any of them, they're gonna vote me out. Like that's how I felt. Like after this round, I was like, well, no, I'm clearly
And that's-
nobody's
we
number
did. We
one.
voted you out.
And you did. So I mean, I was right. But like I don't know. It just sucked. Like, you know, like, and I mean, I would have been out if I didn't have my LOS, which I would have been livid. Way more livid than I am, but I'm livid now.
Livider.
It's fine. We're moving on. It's
All right, well,
that ended with, unfortunately, TR and Mallory going home. I've never interviewed you. Probably it's gonna tell us more, like final thoughts. You pressed a button. I thought I was gonna get to press the button on you.
You could do it on the next one.
He's such a, like micromanager.
Here we go.
Okay.
TR, Mallory, thank you. What are your final thoughts on the night?
I should just stop playing minis at this point. I keep lowering my average.
No, stop.
I keep getting better though. Like, very slightly.
This is your second time playing. And you went
I went one space further.
I thought it was definitely like a unique thing, like that it makes it like duos can be a thing that work out. You know what I mean? Like I think that you showed that tonight. Yeah.
And we like our marriage survived, which is super good. I was worried about that.
You
I
have
don't know.
new children.
Yeah, we have lots of new children, lots of responsibility now. I don't know. We came into tonight, I think, just wanting to really have fun, and that we probably should have prepared more. Honestly, we're very unprepared. But I think that it was like, I don't know, it was like a nice little test. If we can like navigate things together, it was good.
TR and Mallory for Amazing Race. I will say one of the highlights for me by far of the entire night was watching you two do confessionals by yourself. It was absolutely
alone a lot
heartwarming and complete relationship goals. So everybody who watched that absolutely loved it. So
thank you. We love you all.
Thanks, guys.
Wait, TR and Mallory, quickly before you go, so I can.
Oh yeah, apologize to us.
Yeah,
when you watch it back. So the round before
you
this
got some
one,
shit to say?
get home. Yeah. Dude, I was pushing you guys so hard. Like,
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Like,
2 birds, 1 stone.
And
2
I thought
birds, 1 stone.
I thought I had it.
Oh,
Like I thought you guys were out, and I did it because I was like, like I don't think anyone has voted for me yet. Like, and when history repeats itself came, and I was like, who is the other person I can like spread who I've never heard. And
Harley, we're not mad. We're just disappointed.
Okay. We'll
No,
talk about it later.
What a parental thing to say.
It didn't even work, so who's to say? And I gave you the thing the next round, so it was just a one round thing where I felt like I needed to do that was the move I needed to make.
He was being the rebellious teen to his parents.
Blame Dakota, for clicking on green.
I blame you all. It's great.
Yeah, I definitely tried.
What did I do? I saved myself.
them out.
No, I guess not you. Dakota.
Yeah, Dakota,
you're fine. You're fine.
Wait, TR, out of curiosity, or would you guys have disagreed, TR and Mallory? Would the two of you, had Brandon given it to you first because we had the deal, would you have given it to me or Dakota?
Who? I hadn't even thought about that.
I think we may have given it to Dakota only because we had like a little conflict with him earlier in the game because of Brent. So we would have maybe done, because we did a lot of like trying to repair relationships in this. We had with like, Taylor hearing us, talking about her and then having to like repair that with her. And then like with you and then with Brent, because I confronted Brent about, calling me out with,
And we agreed to leave Dakota before that.
I would have given it to y'all if I had made
Yeah, that's true. That's the other
we were
point.
in the room with Dakota at the beginning of that round.
Before it became 4, it was just us and Dakota. So we likely would have gone with him first because of that anyway.
Awesome. Okay. Great.
All right. Well, TR, Mallory, feel free to stay. It's up to you.
I'm gonna go to bed.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us then.
Thank you for having me.
Bye, guys.
All right, so
Hey,
that
Mallory.
brought us to round 11, which was a straightforward vote and a drag round, which ended with Nico going home, in which he dragged Braden afterwards. I definitely want to hear more about the drag, but I guess before we get to that, let's discuss the vote a little bit, how we got to Nico.
I was very dead set on Braden for most of the round.
I voted Braden.
And then I was in a room with Braden, and he talked me out of it. And we decided to go with Nico. And I don't remember why.
I didn't
But
vote
like
Nico.
I was like when they read off the tie, I was like, okay, another tie, and then it was between me, Dakota, and Jeannie. I was shocked. Like
Me and Nico have played, played 3 minis together, and I've never voted him one time.
Yeah, like I
That's
was
loyalty
shocked.
right there.
So Charlie
I thought
and
I
I
was
were in the
done.
room alone, and we were like, "Who is somebody that's not getting votes?" And so we were like, "Janine." And so both of us just voted Janine.
This is when I was really trying to ask Taylor to prom.
Oh my god!
This was
stop.
the-
My
this
heart.
was the
This
round.
whole round, like
thought-
before the tie happened, I thought it was good. Like everything was like, because I never even heard my name, so like I wasn't even worried. I wasn't even worried. Like
I thought it was Dakota. I thought it was just gonna be
like,
easy
just kept
Dakota.
going with it. Like everyone,
I was
I
I'm
was
done for
fine.
now.
So when my name, I guess again, I didn't even hear it till the revote happened. So like I didn't have to worry. I wasn't like scared about anything. I was just playing around, and then the freaking tie happened. I'm like, what the hell? And then the tie happened. That's where and then after the tie is where I'm still confused. But
Did we get a revote on the tie? I voted for Janine, even though I was like, I don't know if I get to vote, but I voted for Janine.
I voted for Janine too.
I
because
didn't.
I thought that.
So I don't think
more-
we got a vote.
Well, yes, Taylor, I know you voted for me.
Yeah, but it was because I felt like Janine would have dragged me, and I knew that I had my LOS regardless. But I felt like I had a better chance of voting you and you not dragging me than voting Janine and having
wait.
her drag me.
Wait,
Yeah,
who
like,
was the tie between? Can you remind me?
Janine, Nico, and somebody else. Dakota, right?
Dakota.
Yeah. I wasn't voting
So
Dakota.
before the tie even happened, I thought like majority votes were going on Dakota, or who was the other person that was maybe getting thrown out? I don't even remember who it was.
Braden.
Braden, yeah. So like my name wasn't even brought up, so I'm like, cool. I actually threw my vote this round because I didn't even want to be involved with the dragging, and I threw it on Taylor. Like I just threw it because I knew she wasn't. Yeah, I knew Taylor. I knew you weren't getting votes, so I just threw it. I'm like,
Okay, that's
I don't want-
fair. No, I get it.
You know, you all know dragging rounds. Dragging rounds get freaking intense. You don't want to be involved
Yeah.
with it. So I'm like, I'm throwing
I
my vote
appreciate
because
it,
I
though.
for sure thought that Dakota or Brayden, one of them were going. I'm like, there's no way. So that's why I was. But then the tie happened, and all hell broke loose. And me, Janine, and Dakota were in the same room, just staring at each other like, what the hell? And so yeah, I voted for Janine too, Dakota. So I didn't know.
Revote. I think I made that up.
You didn't vote for Janine
originally?
No, after the revote.
Oh, I voted Janine.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't know if we got a vote or not.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I was fully prepared to drag Josh Calhoun this round if I was voted out. So
I guess on the dragging,
I think you guys did get a revote because when she read the votes for Nico, she read out Janine's name.
Oh
yeah, Janine voted for me, but I wasn't dragging Janine whatsoever because we were in a shitty situation. We all knew we kind of had to vote for each other.
I didn't think you were gonna drag me. I was like,
if you would have voted for me, I wouldn't have dragged you either because like I was gonna vote between you or Janine too. Like we had to. Like, there's no other option. So
I'm surprised that I wasn't even considered as an option for you to drag because I voted for you too.
Same.
Okay, so. Chelsea, I kind of forgot that you were even one that voted for me. So trust me, I was just so shocked that I was even in that situation.
I voted for you twice too. I voted for you originally.
I just remember
Chelsea, I should have dragged your ass real quick.
Yeah,
I thought I was.
Okay, so I didn't know a lot of. Well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I felt like I could vote for Dakota or Janine and not get dragged because I never made any promises to them or anything. But Nico, you gave me safety in the round, in the safety pass round, so I thought there was a chance, so I just knew I couldn't vote for you.
I wanted us to split though, Charlie. Like I didn't want to vote the same round, you and I.
In my statement with Keely, I was just shocked by it because I really thought we were like tight with it. So this is who I was when it happened. I was like, okay, so I'm dragging Brayden because just the whole game, like we really didn't have much game talk. I feel like he was against me. I didn't know much what was going on with him, so I'm like, it's a good drag. Like I'm pretty sure he's voted for me multiple times. It was between him, Keely, and Taylor. Like Taylor, I was honestly almost dragging because I
thought you were going to, but I had the
so happy you dragged Brayden out of the three of them.
So no, this is what happened. Happy. So after the Keely, I threw it to the side because like we were working together. I think kind of a little bit. Like I liked her. Exactly. Again, but I didn't know for sure. Like there was so much going on, so I'm like, you know what? Like,
Keely, I only saw you like twice in the whole game.
I know.
Yeah. So when I dragged Brayden, it was just because of that. I literally was inches away from dragging Taylor. Like literally, that's why it took me so long. That's why I couldn't between Taylor and I was.
That would have been iconic.
And then the issue
I had my LOS.
Well,
you did.
I would have drag. I would have.
Then I would have just been okay. Thank you, Taylor. Brayden, you come with me. So
I would have flushed one of the 4,000 LOSs that were played at Final Six. So
yeah, Brayden. Well, because then after I dragged him, he tried to talk me out of it, and he almost did. I didn't know if I was allowed to, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna drag Taylor now. So, but
nope,
I didn't.
There actually, I feel like this was more LOSs than there typically were in one game. Like,
there
was even one in Final Six. There's never one six.
There were a lot. I don't know if like typically in games more people get voted out with them like in their pockets than get played. Like I feel like everyone was just so paranoid in this game that they played them as soon as they got them.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Not me.
Well, that round ended with Nico going home and Brayden going along with him. Nico, what are your final thoughts on the night?
It was fun. Yeah, I was hoping to get, I've just been so exhausted this week. So like after I got voted out, I kind of just cashed out. So, but it was really fun though. I was really good time. I've never like really got to play with like kind of like an all-star cast like this before, so like it was definitely interesting, different dynamic going into the game. I enjoyed it though for sure. Made it far. I honestly didn't think I was gonna make it this far, especially after me, Geneva, and Hannah were brought up as a trio in like round 1 or 2. So I was like, well, shit, I'm done here. So I was proud with making it that far. Everyone was fun to play with. A lot of people I've always wanted to play with, so that was good. Congrats, Taylor. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was good. That's pretty much it.
Thanks, Nico. Thanks for joining
Yeah.
us.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Nico.
Hey, Nico.
And I know, Josh, you have to take off as well. I will say before you leave, I was very proud of you. I mean, at the beginning, it was kind of, you were kind of just going under the radar, middle of the road. But by the end, you really started fighting. And it was nice to see you go that far. And, I felt like a proud, Tiara and Mallory might be your parents.
You almost had me for a second.
I felt like a proud papa at
You
the
almost got me, but I
Did
knew
I
no
almost
one
convince
else was
you?
gonna flip. I knew
Yeah.
no one else was gonna flip.
Well, what I wanted to say before I hop out was like I knew I came into this game like perception-wise, knowing that like I was like connected on a surface level with a handful of people, but was not super deeply connected. Maybe in the community, just kind of on the periphery with funny tweets from here from time to time. But I also knew that like what I was capable of, and even though like I was on the wrong side of like every vote we would talk about from here till like I actually went out, like. That's neither here nor there. Like I feel very proud of the game I played, and I know I came in with like maybe hyena status, but I really wanted to prove that I had lion potential, and I had a lot of fun. And at Final 5, I ran into a brick wall. I don't think there was any way I was gonna flip any of you guys. And I did my best, and my New Yorker accent came out, and I tried to be loud and hope that would make people switch, and it didn't work. But I really wanted a shot at Final 4 because everyone talks about Final 4 is Sequester, and I was like, I just want to get in there.
It's not fun. It's not fun.
Well, we answered 400,000 true or false questions, and I'm like, I'm gonna get one wrong eventually.
I guessed on every single one of those, by the way.
I mean,
I sucked.
I didn't. I actually enjoyed that. Like,
yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Like, okay.
Sorry, I just want to say, like, I, really had a great time. Loved being a part of this. I'm not one that cares about like a legacy or anything like that, but it's good to like feel acknowledged and like, I made myself proud.
Aww.
So Taylor, awesome job, earned it.
Thank you so much for your question too, because your question meant the most out of everyone. Like, why do you want it the most?
I thought about the reason I went there is I originally was gonna ask like what was your story of the game, but then I remember thinking like all day and all week, like if I were to sit in the final 2, I would want to be able to tell someone how much it meant to me. So that's why I wanted to ask.
No, I appreciate it.
It was
so
a great
much.
question. I like that question a lot too, and I think it helped both of the final 2 to really tell their story, and I think that was the highlight of the jury questioning. So it was really good.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I may be taking a backseat from playing for a little while, but I love to come on and do all this stuff. So
let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets. See you guys.
Thanks, Josh.
I think we're all in a back seat for a while. I don't know. Speaking for myself, but.
All right, so that brought us to round 12, which was History Can't Repeat Itself Again, that ended in Keely's departure. So let's talk a little bit about that one.
Tragic. Because I could not vote for either of the Joshes, and both their names were being thrown out. So I was like, what am I supposed to do? The only other name that was thrown out was Keely. So I was
This round was like 30 seconds long.
I voted for Joshua.
Yeah.
I voted Keely.
I was with Keely when Keely went. I had no idea it was happening.
I went to every room and said Keely.
I think it's just because Charlie came into our room and was like, vote Keely. And then Audrey was like, time's up. And we were like,
it was a
okay. And we literally had I didn't think we had any other names. And I was like, well, I don't want it to be me. I felt fairly comfortable.
Too.
I feel that was like one of the quickest rounds I've ever seen. It was I don't understand why it was so quick. It was literally like a minute and a half, maybe. It was nuts.
After this round, like every round I felt like it was like a minute long.
Yeah.
It started moving really quick.
Yeah.
I felt really good this round because I was like, everyone already voted me at least once. So I was like, no one can vote me again.
Not me. I didn't vote for you.
I didn't vote for you either. But
it was fun. Like obviously I wanted to go further, but like it to go out on a total blind side, like I hadn't experienced. Yeah. It was kind of fun. And like the whole pre-jury, like before the safety pass off, I was like, where do I stand? Like I'm okay, but I feel like I'm not on solid enough ground. Like people could turn on me at any second. But with the safety pass off, like I finally felt like I solidified some things, like with Consalvo and Chelsea, and and like Calhoun.
Is the sun starting to come up?
Oh yeah, I'm like,
oh god, please no.
I'm dying. Like I'm so tired.
It's okay.
But anyways, it was just crazy because I was finally starting to feel good, and then around 11, I was like so bummed that I voted Nico and then he left. But so to get to jury, and I was like, oh, like, can we do it again? No. I was like, I can't wait to the Final Four for a third time. It's gonna be so fun. But
not as fun third time.
But it was a super fun game, and I did not see it coming. So that was.
You kept the streak going though. Another jury. So I don't know if anyone can say that 4 for 4. It's very
yeah,
impressive.
not I.
So that round ended. Keely, feel free to stay around if you want, or if you want to go to bed.
Yeah, put me backstage, whatever you guys need to do.
Oh, yeah, we're
the only ones left.
Yeah, we got room now.
Yeah.
So that brought us to the tether round.
Oh, this was good.
Oh, I was so happy with this round.
So
I had Brandon. I was like, you better vote with me this round because I'm.
And I had Charlie.
I had Josh C.
Yeah, it was
I had
Chelsea and Josh C, Dakota and Brandon, Janine and Calhoun, and Taylor and Charlie.
It honestly couldn't have worked out better, I think.
Yeah.
I think I was in with Taylor and Charlie to start the round. And I was like, okay, well, I know they'll vote with me. And
Wait,
I know
who went that
Brandon,
round?
he's not going to vote against me.
Calhoun.
So we
Okay.
really got Calhoun then.
I voted for Charlie. Sorry, Charlie.
No worries, Chelsea. I'll look. I like at this point, like especially last round with Keely, like I was like, all right, like I'm putting my foot pedal on the gas, like I want to win. Like I don't think I'm beating most of these people right now, so I gotta like, and so I like tried to make that move with Keely, like really my move. Like I was really just like, we gotta go to Keely. Like I couldn't vote for Keely, and I knew like Keely was a big target, and the thing was with Taylor, like I was just like, and this is why I think I would have voted for Brandon maybe if it weren't for this. Like I was totally convinced that Taylor would never write my name down, so I was like,
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. But so
Wait, are we in the next round?
Yeah, now we're in tether.
Oh, we're in tether. Okay.
In tether, and so when I got Taylor as my partner, I was like, okay, I think I'm in okay shape because I feel like the incentives work here too. I felt like Taylor thought she could beat me too, so I was like, okay, as long as Taylor and I are in different rooms and we pick a person, we're fine. And this round worked kind of beautifully for me because Janine was trying to find Calhoun the whole time, and I knew as long as Janine couldn't talk to Calhoun, we won because I knew Dakota would vote with me and Taylor, and I knew as long as they could not say a name and guess correctly, we would get it. Because Calhoun has another LOS, and
No, because it was supposed to be the 4 of us voting for you.
Yeah.
And then it would have tied.
It would have tied, yeah.
I wouldn't have flipped, I don't think. Would I have gotten how does a revote work in the tether round?
I do not know.
That's a good question. I don't know if we must have seen a tie in the tether.
It would probably be
we have. It's just the tethers, who have not gotten
people
votes.
Who haven't,
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that round ended with Josh Calhoun leaving again. And then we got to round 14, Rumor Has It, where basically every rumor was about Brandon. But this
Mine
one
wasn't. Mine was about Charlie.
I think 3.
Like
I just...
Can we talk for a second? Like, what's going on?
Well, at this point with you, it was just kind of like I felt more well-connected with everybody else. Like, just you were the most likely to be able to bring my name up.
My goal, if I made it to the rumor round, was just to send rumors that sounded like they came from high school because it was prom themed. I was like, I'm just going to say that Charlie cheated on the AP US History test, and that
did you say that about Brandon?
Stuffed the ballot box for prom.
Yeah.
And
I was really hoping somebody would mention Chelsea and her former Big Brother winner boyfriend. I really wanted that, but no one thought to do it.
The meta.
Charlie, I will say though, after Dina went home, I wrote a list of everybody that I was like in order of how I felt aligned to them, and you were 5th on the list at the.
Elsie, where was I?
Point, you were 2nd.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my
I
heart.
knew, I like you. I knew you were gonna say my name.
We'll get there.
Chelsea, do you feel like we can work through this? Like, do you feel like we can be friends, or is this, you know?
Yeah, no, like the cowboy
you know.
hat. I like the cowboy hat. Like, there's no hard feelings at all.
Okay, great.
Like,
Well, I'm
like,
the one having the hard feelings.
I'm
Sure,
honest.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, I honestly, like, it probably, like, I base my alliances and my connections on like the smallest things, and like at the very, like, I'm pretty sure I even said, like, before I went in, if Charlie's wearing the cowboy hat at the beginning, I'm working with him. And like, the first thing I saw you in was the cowboy hat, and I was like, okay, that, like, I'm gonna try to work with Charlie. And then I think we actually did like work together on a couple of
Definitely.
plays.
So here's my question. I really tried to do a Charlieism in this round of not letting anyone leave the room. So, and there was no LOS, so I was shocked when I left. Like, it wasn't a blindside because I kind of thought the other 3 votes might be coming my way, but I could not understand how Taylor knew.
Wait, the rumor round?
Wasn't this when I went out at 7?
Yeah, I got the LOS the rumor round.
Yeah, so the round
But you didn't
before,
play
they
it,
were-
right?
This is when 3. Oh no, that's next round.
You didn't play it this round, right? It was, I assume,
No.
because
The round before,
you were in my
though,
room.
Charlie.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were saying Charlie, 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 but I was like trying to get them off of your name, which is why you didn't go the round like before that. But I knew that like staying in the room that I was in, that they were gonna push for your name because they had done it the round before. So regardless of me having to talk to them, I was like, okay, I'll take the risk of voting for Charlie. And if it, at the most, it ties. If I'm right, you go home. So I took that like risk.
Okay, I get it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like, yeah, I don't know. No, that was a good round, and I think I wouldn't have done anything differently. I just didn't expect you to flip without being able to.
Oh, I know. I know. And I didn't want to, but at the same time, I was like, if I'm in a Final Four with Brandon, Dakota, and Chelsea, I make Final 2. If I'm in a Final Four with you, Josh, Janine, and myself, I do not make Final 2. So that was like the deciding factor for me.
So wait, if you didn't vote Charlie, who are you gonna vote, Taylor?
We voted for Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah. I actually thought Chelsea was going home that round, honestly.
I
It was
think
another one where it was
Chelsea that round, and we were like, Charlie, done.
Yeah, it was another one that was a really quick. Like, for the most part, people didn't even leave their they didn't even leave their room for that
It was
round.
like
It
an
was so quick.
me and Chelsea stayed in ours. I
Yeah.
think we didn't go
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah.
We were like, done. Deal.
This was also someone pointing this out in the chat, and this is true. This is the first mini that I have played not lying in bed.
Also, whoever sent that thing before about the rumor with Brandon and making out with someone, that was me. I said that Brandon and Taylor made out at my party.
Yeah, what? I was like, I can't even cross the border. Like, what are you talking about?
It was a smoky high school rumor. Stupid.
My rumor.
I live in Canada.
My rumor
It
was.
wasn't supposed to be real life, Taylor. Chill.
My rumor was the one about Dakota targeting Josh.
Well,
Mine was the one about Janine protecting Charlie. Because I figured I could do two.
Brandon had a
birds with
final
one stone.
2.
Which was true.
I know.
I'm pretty sure that's the only final 2 I made too. I don't remember though. It's not long ago, but it feels like it was.
it feels like I've been on here for
I know, it's been a
1,200 hours.
All right, yeah. So let's finish this. So obviously that ended in Charlie leaving. Charlie, do you want to stick around or you want to head out? If you're going to head out, I want you to have some final words here on, obviously, since you put it together. But if you want to save that for the end, you can.
I think I will. I think I will head out because it is so late. I
I'll say one more thing to Charlie before he
Chelsea.
goes.
Yeah, Chelsea.
I have a note written down. I was supposed to tell you that I couldn't get the 2 votes on Brayden. I couldn't do it.
Gotcha.
I just forgot to let you know that.
Okay, no worries. Good to know now. what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm happy with my game. I really wanted to get at least better than 7th because that's what I got a couple days ago. But you know, I think I am improving, and I'm really happy with it. Honestly, I think I did a lot of things right, and some may disagree.
Take down that tweet with your spreadsheet with all the twists. Take it down. Don't give out that information for free.
I know. I was shocked you wanted people to see it.
I think I'm gonna not be playing for a while. Just to
I also have like a 4-page cheat sheet with every single twist and my personal strategy for every twist.
Well,
so I appreciate.
Yeah. Okay, the secret is there's another spreadsheet that has some other stuff on it.
Ooh.
But that is what I believe. Yeah. Anyway,
I have one of those, but that's not a folder that anybody else can see. I'm sorry. That was not an appropriate joke.
It's 5 a.m, Chelsea, get a grip.
I think for me, I wanted to post it because I felt sort of like it's also a good resource for new
for
players.
Yeah, I read it.
Yeah,
for new people, it's so
new
good.
people, and you know, it's like I've had the opportunity to play a bunch of times and talk so much, and I think there's like people think a lot of these things are like kind of simple, but like I really want to make that Final Four because I got some ideas. You know, I really like, you know, I love it. You know,
the idea that you sent me the other night in the middle of the night, I still don't understand, and I don't know if I want to. I was basically just like, yep, I get it. Okay.
I think it's like actually Galaxy Brain, but I have to wait till I'm in Final Four to use it. I can't believe no one's done it before, but anyway.
Also, Keely, you're not allowed to yawn. You're on Pacific time, so chill.
Yeah.
Well, y'all's circadian rhythms are already picking up. Like it's like morning time for you guys already.
Oh, I'm gonna pass out until probably 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon.
Oh yeah, like nobody talk to me tomorrow, please. Like,
I'm scared.
All right, Charlie.
Okay.
Anything else before you head out?
No, that's it. And
Thank you for organizing this, Charlie. It was so much
yeah,
fun.
thank you so much, Charlie.
I hope we can all talk and be friends and you know whatever and
never again.
Whatever. Well, maybe not with Dakota. I was more talking to everyone else. But no, jokes aside. All right, bye everyone.
Bye.
You all looked great, by the way. We didn't really talk about that, but everyone looked.
Thank you. I wasn't very
Thank you.
Chelsea, do you want to stick around or you want to head out?
I think I would like to head out. I'm really tired. I know, like, I'm one of the 3 people left that are still in the game.
Chelsea,
but
we got 1 round to go. Just do it.
if we can do it quick.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
final
We'll
5,
do
we
it.
all voted out Josh. End of round. Next round, final 4. Okay.
Well, okay. Yeah.
If I had known that anybody else was willing to flip on that, on anybody but me, I would have done
flipped
it.
on you.
Like, yeah, like I really think that by
I don't
that
think
corner, I
Taylor
was
and
back.
Brandon would have.
By that time, I was backed in a corner. I like my misstep in that was like not thinking about. Like I just didn't know the lore behind it. I just thought that we were a draft group.
Oh,
Brandon,
Like,
we might have been able to flip it on Chelsea and then vote Josh out for 4th, and is an easy 4th vote, and then see who he would have dragged. But
well, no, I'm
Either
happy
way.
with how it went. I got 3rd.
I'm
so.
glad we made final 4. And then, I mean, I was like, I was dead set on that 4-way wheel. I thought that would have been amazing.
So good.
I was the only one, apparently, Keely. Sorry.
I love a wheel.
You know, I know you love a good wheel. Nobody else wanted that wheel.
I just assumed it was going to be another tie because everybody was going to switch their vote.
No, we are not tying. No wheels.
I thought that
Taylor had
everybody
it-
was going to try and switch their vote. So I was like, shit, I've got to try and switch my vote too so that I can avoid being.
If Taylor and Brandon didn't have the history with the wheel, I think they might have been a little more comfortable with the 4-way wheel. But
I mean, Dakota, I still voted for you.
oh, I know, and I still voted for Brandon.
Yeah, so it was
But-
the rest of them.
I know, it was the other 2.
Dakota, would you have ever voted for Taylor or no?
I don't think either of the other 2 were ever going to vote for Taylor.
I would have voted for Taylor if anybody else would have voted for Taylor. Honestly, Taylor, because like I felt like I had a good I felt like I had a good final 2 against. No offense, I felt like I had a good final 2 against Dakota, and I definitely felt like I had a good final 2 against Brandon, because I kind of felt like I facilitated a lot of the moves that Brandon took credit for, and I like you were the only person that I felt like you would beat me. So
No,
like I
I
would
get
have
it.
voted you out. Like
Yeah.
and then I
But
don't think
that's
you would
why
have
I was
dragged
like,
me. I mean, like
I took such
you
an
could have,
emotional approach.
but I don't think I think you would have dragged Brandon, but I could be wrong.
Would you have
I
dragged
think
me?
I would have dragged you.
You would have dragged Chelsea.
Yeah, I wasn't dragging Dakota or Brandon at that point, so
that's shitty.
I think I would have lost against all three of you regardless. I mean,
I'm not sure. I mean, from an outsider's perspective, I was
on if
looking
people
at
were
it
basing
like,
on like a
yeah.
story or like whatever. Because I think if I went against Brandon or I went against Chelsea, I could say, "Hey, this is my third time in the final two. I lost both other times. I made it here. I fought from the start, whatever." But if I couldn't win, I wanted to see someone who put a lot of time and like I feel like Taylor. Like, no offense, Chelsea. I just feel like Taylor's been here since what year? 2016, 17.
Like she's I've been here since 1997, bitch. What the fuck?
No,
like me too. Me and Taylor have been like a part of the sequester community from like 1.0, and I wanted to reward someone who I think would appreciate. I mean, everyone would appreciate it, obviously, but would appreciate it the most and has fought the hardest for the longest time to get there. You know what I mean?
I get that. I just felt like I did play well enough to make it to the final two.
I think so. I think all four of us did. I think all four of us. We all played very different games, but I think all four of us played very well to get. I mean, obviously, we had to get to where we got to.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I honestly thought, Dakota, you had, of the four, the best case if you got to the end in terms of the game in itself. Like, you had the most to talk about in that game in terms of everything you had to overcome from the very beginning.
Yeah, I don't know if with my inebriated state I would have been able to put words together at that point, which has been my downfall the other two times. So, I mean, that's just my weak spot in general. And, I mean, I need to work on it, obviously. But I think, Brandon put up a much harder case than I thought he was going to put up. Like, I sent Brandon and Taylor to the final two with, like, oh, I think Taylor's got this in the bag. And then listening to the final two questioning, I was like, Brandon, ooh, okay.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. I was telling everybody I knew that was coming, that he was going to speak.
Fought.
Yeah.
And
I give him credit for it.
Yeah, he fought. He fought hard. But,
it did end with what we have all been waiting for. The big TSL victory on Sequester. It's happened. I guess, so we can let everybody go to bed. Taylor, let's get the final thoughts here. How does it feel to now be a Sequester winner?
Shut up. It's been a long time coming, honestly.
After 20 years.
20, no, I'm 22, not 20 years.
After 4 years.
No.
Was it what you always dreamed it would feel like now that you're here? Do you feel different?
No, but I do feel validated, at least. And I guess that's all that matters, is that, like, it's been a while. So at least I got it and I could sleep on this and now not look back ever again. I'm good.
You're done. She's done.
I'm done.
You're done? You're retiring? You're not going to come back?
I'm retiring.
A lot of retirements tonight. Everybody needs to take a break. I give it a month until everybody's back.
Shut up.
Oh no, I think I'm done. If not for a long while, if for a long while, if not forever. A long time. Maybe I'll come back in like 10 years when Audrey's like, we're gonna do a 10-year reunion. That's when I'll come back.
10-year reunion mini.
Yeah, I'll be like Mike Boogie in Big Brother 14.
Oh my God, we don't talk about him today.
Oh yeah, we're not going to talk about
Boogie. Boogie is blacklisted.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I guess we can wrap it up there. I'll show everybody's. I'll say overall, it was a really fun mini, regardless of anything. I feel like the international one was a lot to live up to because that was so crazy. But this cast was just so likable, and like every time someone left, it was like a shot in the heart.
Yeah.
But it was also by the end, you were rooting for everyone. So I think that was the
Yeah, like as the jurors kept coming in, like I was sitting there, like it's the first one, like I was happy with literally any of the other, eight people winning, and then every person that came in, we're like, we're good with any of them. We're good with any of them. How are
I love that.
everyone.
Oh, that's so nice.
I think it's just a real testament to like the caliber of people in this cast. So love y'all.
Absolutely. It was a fun
sequester in 10 years. I'll be there.
It was a fun
Me
night.
too.
I do hope to see you all again at some point. But Keely, your Twitter, anything to say why people should follow you? Convince the 104 people still watching.
Oh my God.
Go to bed.
Yeah, I don't know. But I would like to say really quick, just to like everyone, like I think it was like a tough week in the sequester community. It's obviously a tough time in the world. Like I'm sure lots of other people have personal shit going on in their lives. Like this was like a rough week for me. And like the only thing I was excited about was like coming tonight and like playing dress up and like hanging out for 5 hours and beyond with like 20 friends, plus knowing that I have this whole community to like talk about it with. So I think that's like the real beauty of like what Audrey's created here is just this like incredible community. And I love that we can all continue to like grow and learn from each other and just make like lifelong friends. So I'm really grateful for everyone here and listening and beyond. So if you want to join Love Fest, I guess that's why you can follow me on Twitter, but you don't.
Here. Well said. Dakota?
That's my Twitter. Don't follow me. I'm so annoying. Sorry. I'll spam your feed with tweets like 24 hours a day. I mean, you can follow me if you want. I have really good opinions about reality TV and pop music, but other than that, I don't know what else to add.
I'm sold. Chelsea?
Hi, I post a lot on Twitter. I wish I was less tired to be able to plug myself better, but there I am. I'm a person. I have thoughts and feelings, and I share them as often as I can.
And finally, our winner, TSL.
I don't tweet a lot, but when I do tweet, it's probably about myself. So if you want to hear me talk about myself, I am a Leo. So
me too.
Me too.
What's your birthday?
There we go. August 12th.
August 12th. I'm August 2nd.
Look at that.
July 21st.
17th. You're what?
You're
July 21st.
Are you a Leo too?
No, I'm like right on the cutoff.
Cancer.
There we go. All right, thank you all. I'm gonna move you all backstage, but thank you for staying up to these. Yes, or do that, or everyone just get out. Just get out.
Thank you guys.
All right, thanks for joining us. Bye, y'all.
Thank you guys so much. Bye.
Bye. And then there was one or two, I suppose.
No, it's just me. Here I am on the couch by myself. I'm in the doghouse because I got us out pre-jury. So I got to sleep on the couch, unfortunately.
That's rough. That's not the way to do it at 6 a.m.
That's definitely not how you want your prom night to end.
No. I think Mallory's in need of some flowers
Yeah, that might be good. Maybe a stuffed bear or a chocolate.
Yeah, the prom ends like this for everyone, TR. Don't get too down on yourself. You did the best you could.
I should have bounced around more in the safety chain.
Should have gotten those
and been in the room with the people who had safety. And I should have found an LOS. I should improve my internet so the stream wasn't so far behind.
Mallory loves you. It'll be all right. You'll get past this.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll help you. We have there's a new emo night is tomorrow. Picture Mini emo night. That should be fun, huh?
We love emo music.
Yeah,
that's emo culture. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it sounds so much fun. You used to do screamo or whatever, right, Louie?
I did. I was in a screamo band, Fear That Gives Men Wings, back in the day.
Oh, that sounds cool. I'll have to look you up on Spotify.
It wasn't cool. We're not on Spotify.
Oh, well, maybe
check my MySpace.
Yeah. Okay. MySpace. We're gonna be doing live commentary tomorrow for the mini, so that should be fun on our Twitch. You can follow us there. You can follow us on our Twitch there.
I might be a little late, but we'll see.
That's fine, Louie. That's fine. I wanna. Oh yeah, of course. Hold on. Let me take away the couch for a second. If you want to watch the minis, you can watch them on sequesteraccess.com/live feed. Over there, the videos here on how to watch them. The games down there. Not only that, you can support Audrey and become a patron. Depending on how much money you want to give, 3, 10, more. There you go. Support this wonderful game that I can't seem to get into jury more than one time for.
You don't give up hope. It's not over. It's not over for you. It's not over for your relationship, and it's not over for Sequester.
I hope
prom is just one night out of the many nights out of the year. Just remember that.
Okay, Louie.
I'm here for you, buddy. I'm here.
You.
But I'm not going to be here in like 5 minutes because I'm going to go to sleep. But I'll be here for you tomorrow.
Do you know who else is here for us?
Who?
Our moderators in the chat.
That they are.
Including Kevin, who played tonight and almost was first boot because of his internet.
That was a sad moment. It could be worse, right? It could be worse. You could be Kevin.
I could be Kevin.
We love you, Kevin.
I do feel better.
That's good.
You can follow the show on Twitter at Podquester Mini. And what?
You sound so annoying.
Nari just woke up and said I sound so annoying. I'm sorry, I'll keep it down. So let's go ahead and end this show. Hold on, I want to put a link here. To be serious for a second, Black Lives Matter, of course, still. I put a link in the chat that is also pinned on my Twitter. Has information on where you can donate, where you can sign petitions for, email, call, all that stuff. Show your support that way. Again, as we get further away, this cause trends less, but that doesn't mean it's any less important. So show your support. And like I said, this link here, I dropped it in the chat. It's also on my Twitter at TRConrady if you want to check it out. Pretty good resource. But yeah, Louie. Oh man.
Fun night, prom.
Yeah, maybe fun for you, boy.
Yeah, always on the sidelines. Maybe next year.
I just hope that I'm not in the doghouse tomorrow.
I'm sure it'll be fine. A night's sleep. Everybody make her some breakfast in bed, huh?
That's very true, Debbie. I'm keeping her up. Long prom night. Thank you to everyone who watched. I'm sorry if I was annoying in the game. You
have to apologize to Room 3 mod.
Yeah, look, I feel like Room 3 mod needs to apologize to me. I think once they apologize to me, I will apologize to them, and we can have an understanding.
There you go.
I, of course, have modded games before. I know that it can be stressful, so I'm mad with a grain of salt, if that's a thing. Yeah. So thank you to everyone who stuck around and watched from. If any of you of the 100 people still watching, if you watched from the beginning of the mini until now. Thank you. That is a long time. That is a long time. Subscribe, hit the like button, tell a friend. And we will see you tomorrow. Louie, thank you so much for, of course, being a trooper and killing it here on the show. Thank you to Sharifa and Susie. Thank you. I'm so tired. Thank you to Sharifa and Susie for representing Podquester along with you, Louie, on Kirsten's stream earlier for the live commentary, which I'm sure Liquidated will probably, or maybe sync up. I don't know if they sync up the private minis. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Who knows? I'm sure you can find out on our Twitter. Maybe, who knows? But I'm gonna stop stalling. Let's head out. Louie, any final thoughts?
Wonderful night. Here's to prom.
Here's to prom. And if we didn't say it before, our theme song that we play at the beginning and at the end is by the very talented Will from America. I don't know if Will from America was behind the prom music for tonight, but if he
was bopping, though. That was a bop.
Kudos to him. The fast-paced one was good, but the slow one was especially good. I was actually a fan of that. So we just passed 600 subscribers during the stream, so that's cool. Thank you to that. We're now at 610 subscribers. That's right. That's awesome. And we'll see you tomorrow for the Emo Night live commentary stream. It should be a lot of fun. All right, guys.
Bye, all.
Bye.